WebSportsRadio.com, in association with KBFL, proudly presents
across the line to Kovacic. Kovacic, the leading scorer for Missouri State, drive, score! And guess who gets that goal? The guy that we are going to talk to in the second period intermission, Carson Warnig.
Isn't that the way it usually goes?
Carson Warnig with a nice blast through some traffic, and Missouri State has a 1-0 lead.
You know, that would sound really egotistical if it wasn't so true. It happens more often than not. I can't figure it out.
Missouri State University Ice Hockey.
2-on-1. Here's Saunders with Lounder. To Lounder, he shoots, he scores! I'm going to do it, Dan. I'm going to interview every Ice Bears player. The two we interviewed today have scored goals. And Chad Lounder gets his first goal with Missouri State this season.
With the call, here's Dan Lee and Steve Casson.
And live from Mediacom Ice Park and the Stan Melton Ice Arena, it is Game 2 between the Missouri State Ice Bears and the University of Alabama Frozen Tide. Hello, everybody. Steve Casson, Dan Lee. As Missouri State, in yesterday's game, fall 4-1 to the University of Alabama. And Dan, in that game, Missouri State managed 41 shots, but they only scored one goal. And the man who's going to be in nets again for Alabama tonight, Gunnar Nielsen, played one stellar of a hockey game yesterday.
Oh, he did. He came up with some miracle saves along the way. Also, though, he got a lot of help from his defense. There was a couple of pucks that slipped behind him that his defense managed to swipe and keep it out of the red line. And also, there was just a lot of weird bounces last night as well. It's just one of those hockey games you can shoot all night, and it just doesn't seem to want to go in the net for you. But that doesn't take anything away from what you just said. Gunnar Nielsen is the real deal between the pipes for Alabama.
He right now, in just his first full game and a half, or full game and a third, in the first game of the season against Auburn, he played one period. But yesterday's game, that gives him a .75 goals against average with 48 total saves for the freshman from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. They, of course, are without Taylor Joseph for the University of Alabama Frozen Tide. And Joseph right now is one of those guys that in this 5-game series is one of the leaders. 7 goals. I take that back. Joseph has 3 goals. He had a hat trick in Game 2. Their leader right now is Dylan Teed, and Teed has 7 goals and 2 assists with yesterday's tally for him as the top scorers for the University of Alabama. They will go with pretty much the same complement, with the exception, as I mentioned, Taylor Joseph not in the lineup. But for Missouri State, it is going to be a completely different situation. They do get the B line back intact. Travis Barrett is back tonight, playing with Bratton and O'Brien. That is a good thing for Missouri State, but the bad thing is that Josh Bell will not play tonight. Bell, after yesterday's game, had an injury, and it's something that the trainer looked at and said, you know, I really think he shouldn't play tonight, so he is not playing. What does that do? Well, that moves Hunter Cooley on the top line. He will be with Alex Truin and Andrew Kovacic. As I mentioned, the B line will be intact, and then the third line, as we call it, it's white on the notes for head coach Jeremy Law. That will have Matt Matty, Nikita Salnikov, and Alex Rubin will move up, and he will play on that third line. And then it's kind of the checking line for Missouri State. It's a line that was very successful last year for the Ice Bears. Chad Lounder, Austin Davis, and Sasha Perron, just to throw some bodies out there. And Missouri State will dress an extra forward tonight. That's Shane Thornton. On defense, they will have Brennan Anderson and Chris Brown, along with Derek Smith, Sam Heiseroth, Patrick Johansson, and Brian Schumacher will also be on defense. Their goaltender will be Brendan Schuck, that is, tonight. Brendan Schuck will start in one game. He doesn't have a goals against average. He played half a game, or pretty much half a game. Didn't allow any goals on 8 shots. He has a 100% save percentage, so right now looking good, and he will start in nets for Missouri State.
And for Alabama tonight, they're going to insert a couple of players we didn't see last night. Number 21 on your TV screen, if you're watching on websportsradio.com, is going to be Cameron Hamlet. He did play in the first season opener for Alabama, came up with an assist on that effort. And we're also probably going to see a little bit more of Michael DeLeese tonight. He'll be in a 6'1", 195-pounder getting his first action for Alabama tonight. So a couple of lineup changes both ways. Travis Barrett coming back, I think, is huge for the Ice Bears, Steve, with his speed, and that's what the Ice Bears needed a little more of last night.
Well, and definitely on the power play too. And I think it's kind of when you take a third of that lineup out. Again, no offense to Schumacher for filling in, but when you have a line that's clicking and you kind of disrupt it a little bit, it takes a little bit of time. And we saw that yesterday. They went offside to the Ice Bears a little bit.
Yeah, especially in the opening moments, and especially with that line. And you're absolutely right. When you're used to playing defense, you're used to making certain cuts and certain angles when you play defense. Schumacher came in the first time they came into the zone and made his usual cut to the left before he got to the blue line, only everybody else thought he was going in the zone, and you get an early offside. They got to sort it out later on, but you're right. When you're used to something, you're used to something, and you got to stick with it.
Between the glass, Dr. Ben Goss, and Ben, you have the games being brought to us by a letter tonight, don't you?
Thank you, Steve. Yes, we do. Tonight's game is brought to you by the letter P, and that means three things for the Ice Bears tonight. Number one is penalties. They've got to stay out of the box. According to Coach Jeremy Law last night, he was frustrated, especially early on, by how many penalties the Ice Bears garnered. Secondly, P for power play. The Bears have got to cash in. As much time as they spent on the ice with control in numbers, they didn't cash in last night to the extent that they needed to. And then thirdly, persistence. As you mentioned, Gunnar Nielsen was a beast last night, and he did a great job of stopping the puck despite a barrage of shots from the Ice Bears. They just have to keep shooting, and sooner or later, the puck is going to fall in the back of the net.
I think it's ironic we have the letter P being presented by a PhD. That works out well. Thank you, Ben.
Oh, you worked on that a lot, didn't you, Dan?
Oh, I studied all night for that one. We have got ourselves a hockey game coming up. We had a dandy last night. We're going to have another dandy tonight as Missouri State University takes on the University of Alabama. The Frozen Tide invading Mediacom Ice Park this weekend as the fans here at Mediacom Ice Park welcome their white-shirted, maroon-pantalooned Ice Bears out onto the ice. Here comes Alabama in their Crimson Tide uniforms. We'll call them the Frozen Tide tonight.
And coming up at the first period intermission, I will have an interview with Kyle Richards, and I asked him, what do they like to be called? And he said Alabama hockey.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, well, and I didn't say it, but that's kind of really nondescript, but it's okay. I told him we'd call them the Frozen Tide tonight.
And one thing I do like about the way things Alabama does the pregame, they will all line up, not just the starters. They will all line up, and they will skate up to the blue line in unison as we get the announcements of the starting lineup.
Yeah, from Tim Gracie.
Our starting lineups for tonight's contest. Beginning with the visitors, the University of Alabama, the starters are as follows. Number 88, Andrew Durkin. Number 89, Jack Rooney. Number 90, Jeremy Hanna. Number 96, Kalen Briere. Number 27, Nick Price. And the goalie, number 37, Gunnar Nielsen. The University of Alabama team is coached by Kyle Edwards with assistant coaches Jaron Jacobs and Eric Hudson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce your starting Missouri State University Ice Bears! The starters, starting at forward, number 24, Hunter Cooley. Also starting at forward, number 20, Andrew Kovacic. The starting center is number 10, Alex Turin. The starting defenders for the Ice Bears, number 21, Sam Heiserot. And number 27, Derek Smith. The starting goalie for the Ice Bears tonight is number 30, Brendan Schuck. And joining the Ice Bears on the ice this evening, a 9-year-old fourth grader from Hickory Hills Elementary School. It's his birthday. Welcome, Kyle Cole. Kyle is a participant of the Ice Park's Junior Bears and SYHA hockey teams. The Ice Bears are coached by assistant coach Brendan McClue and head coach Jeremy Law. Our officials for tonight's contest, the referees are Craig Smith and Jason Carrera, the linesmen Dan O'Very and Mark Marzola. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you please to kindly rise, remove your hats as we honor our nation, the United States of America. And we invite you to sing along with the singing of our national anthem performed this evening by Carly Backus.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our national anthem here from Mediacom Ice Park and the Stan Melton Ice Arena. Game 2 between these two hockey clubs. Missouri State comes in with a record of 2-1, Alabama 2-0, and in the Western Collegiate Hockey League, well, it doesn't count because Missouri State hasn't played one of those games yet. Last season, though, Missouri State did well. They were number 4, 12-10 with 36 points. Alabama, of course, independent.
Another full house here at Mediacom Ice Park as we get ready to get this one underway. I'm Dan Lee. I'll have the ice to your left to start this one off. Steve Caston with the ice to your right. And we have a brand new videographer tonight, Chris Leonard, a major in journalism at Missouri State University, is manning the video for you. If you're watching us on websportsradio.com, welcome aboard, Chris. And of course, Dr. Ben Goss between the panes down there next to the scoring table to help get some close-ups of what happens out on the ice. Let's play hockey on websportsradio.com.
Missouri State skating from the left to the right. Alabama from the right to the left. We are underway here at Mediacom Ice Park, and the Ice Bears will have possession. Quickly, they flip it in. That's Sam Heiserot. Sends it all the way to the near side. Alex Truin is there battling for it, and the puck is taken away and cleared all the way down, where it will be Schuck to fling it over to the far side. All the way out of the zone and back down into the Alabama neutral ice area, where Missouri State will regain and set it all up again. Sent by Chris, or make that, no, that's not Chris Brown, that is Derek Smith with a bouncer in and a save by Gunnar Nielsen. That's his first official save of this hockey game.
Well, it wouldn't be asking too much to have all 5 letters in Andes with a claw mark on it tonight, would it?
Well, they only had one turned over yesterday. We'll see what happens. Face-off will be in the Alabama zone and off the draw. O'Brien with a drive and a blocker save. Rebound in front, just missed wide as Jordan Bratton got the shot, and he just missed the short side, or the short side. It'll go to the near side. Now Bratton with it again. Banks it off the board. Sends it to Chris Brown. Intercepted, though, by Brian Siebold, and he sends it all the way down to the Missouri State end.
Mark Demers races for it there, manages to get a stick on it before he's crunched into the board by Anderson, and it comes out with the Ice Bears in control.
And Barrett will lead the charge over to O'Brien. Back to Barrett. He shoots, and he gets partially knocked down when he got the shot off. Now a big hit as behind the net it's Barrett to try to, or O'Brien, make that Bratton to get it out to center ice, unfortunately, and it's sent all the way down to the Missouri State end.
Demers dumps it in for Alabama. They'll go for a quick line change. Ice Bears get a couple of fresh skates out there as Brennan Anderson tries to find someone to go to. A loose puck, a bad pass as it was partially deflected, and Godfrey will tip it back into the zone for Alabama. Now a race back behind, and Anderson will win that race, and now the Ice Bears able to tip it out. This might be an icing call. It is.
All the way down icing with 18:23 to go in the period behind or between the glass. Dr. Ben Goss.
One thing's for sure, Mark Demers of the Frozen Tide is making his presence known early and often out here in the initial stages of this first period. He's checking Ice Bears right and left, so he's looking to make an impact for the Frozen Tide. The Ice Bears are going to have to counter that.
Well, they're going to try to counter it now with Matt Matty, Nikita Salnikov, and Alex Rubin on the line as the faceoff is won in the Missouri State zone.
And you wonder kind of why Cooley isn't on that line right now, but let's see what happens. It might be because they got caught out of place for the icing and didn't get all the skates out there they wanted. Well, in the meantime, the Ice Bears will try to clear it out of their own zone, Steve.
Yeah, remember, Hunter Cooley is on the line with Alex Turner and Andrew Kovacic because Bell is out as we get an icing.
That's right. Okay, thanks for the reminder.
So it's going to be Alex Rubin, Matt Matty, and Nikita Salnikov on line 3, and Turin, Kovacic, and Cooley, and we will see that line probably up next.
We'll go all the way back down to the Ice Bears end once again to face this one off. 2 minutes into the contest, no score. Ice Bears already with a 2-0 advantage on the shots.
It swung all the way around and out to center ice where the Ice Bears will have possession right along the line. Sent in down by Matt Matty, swung all the way around, and Nielsen will stop it there. Alabama with possession of the puck. They're going to work it out to the corner to Kalen Briere, and he sends a bouncer that flips high and wide into the Missouri State zone.
It'll be Schumacher to track it down back behind his own goal, manned by Brendan Schuck tonight. And it'll come straight up the middle. Looking for someone, can't find anybody.
So Schumacher will send it in, and the Ice Bears will line change. 17:25 to go in the period. Worked by Briere again. Lead pass dropped down by the Ice Bears. Patrick Johansson, they send it in, and they flood the zone to the far side. Good play there by Austin Davis to keep it in. Now to Sasha Perron. He chases for the puck. Banked to the boards. Held in, though. Here's a shot, and that misses just wide off the stick of Schumacher. But to go to the near side, Brian Schumacher has an assist for the defenseman from St. Louis. Lounder with a shot that just missed wide. Now it goes back behind the net, cleared to the corner, and held in. Schumacher, left side, top of the circle, down the middle. He shoots, and he just missed wide. Here's Lounder with it. He's going to work it, look for somebody. There's nobody in front. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to go against Alabama. Ice Bears get the goaltender out. Drive in. Schumacher and a save. Nielsen without a goaltending stick, and now it's touched up. As an Ice Bear, I think it was Davis, was decked in front. And it'll be a power play for Missouri State. Shaking his head and saying, I didn't do it, is Kalen Briere, but it will be a power play for Missouri State.
My question is, why did the play stop right there? The puck was not hidden.
Well, they're saying it was touched, apparently, by the goaltender, which is not it's really not a stoppage in play. But
yeah, I wouldn't think so. It was just off of his pads, and they immediately blew the whistle.
Missouri State on the power play. Dismal. 1 for 21, 4.7%. And this is a 4-minute power play.
A double minor.
It's going to be a double minor that's been assessed to Briere maybe for arguing this situation.
Ice Bears with a nice opportunity to start this contest off. They've already had some good pressure. Got to cash in on these.
They had a 10-minute score at will power play, 2 5-minute majors they did not score on yesterday. Here is Anderson. Plays catch with Chris Brown. Back to Anderson, right side. Anderson waits. Brown there. They move in. Gets it in deep to Turin. Cross in front to Cooley. Shot, save, rebound. Cooley with a save. by Nielsen, who was on his bottom as he made the save. Now Anderson with it. Working it to Chris Brown. Back to Anderson. 3:33 on the power play. No score. Here is Brown. Gets it to Turin. Touch pass back. Brown with it. He shoots. Tipped just wide as he got the pass kind of combination shot. And now we're getting another penalty. Ice Bears got the goaltender out. It goes against Alabama. Here's Turin with it. Turin to Brown. Now in front. Kovacic fanned on it. Puck is touched up, and it's going to be a cross check and a two-man advantage for Missouri State for 2 minutes, barring any further penalties. Dr. Ben Goss between the glass.
The Crimson Tide are forcing the issue in the crease. They're hitting every Ice Bear that comes across. Anything in a white jersey is fair game, and so far that has cost the Frozen Tide in terms of penalties, but they're out there cross-checking for all they are worth as the Bears come across trying to attack the goal.
That penalty is to Siebold, and now it's a two-man advantage for 2 minutes, barring any further penalties for Missouri State. Johansson, he works it up to top to Schumacher down the slot, instead to Bratton on the right side. Schumacher again back to Bratton on the power play. A two-man advantage for Missouri State. No score in the first period. Bratton again, left side, crossover, gets it back. Bratton shoots, and it's blocked in front by Teed. Flipped up over Bratton, but he's able to hold on to it. 1:35 left in the two-man advantage. Schumacher over to the left side dot. Now chipped in front, and just missing as Barrett gave it to O'Brien, and he just missed the tip. Bratton with it now. He's going to work at the B line on for Missouri State. High slot to Schumacher. Over to Bratton on the right dot. High slot again to Schumacher. Now left side to Barrett. He's on the left side dot. He shoots. It's blocked. Here is Schumacher. He shoots, deflected up and out of play. It'll stay in the zone. But Missouri State has been putting all sorts of pressure on Alabama. Everybody catch your breath.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm the one doing all the talking.
Full house here at Mediacom Ice Park, and they know the frustration of last night, and they're hoping it doesn't happen again tonight.
Turin comes in, Godfrey for Alabama, and Turin to win the draw. Ice Bears have possession. Cooley with some help to Anderson. Down the middle, Anderson waits. He instead gives it to Chris Brown, instead, who will send it over to Turin. Now to Chris Brown again. Brown works it over to Anderson. Working it is the defenseman to Turin. Oh, what a glove save. Rebound, it's moved and cleared. Huge glove save as the Ice Bears had a wide open net. And a big save there. Rebound is sent wide after the initial shot by Chris Brown. Ice Bears work, 39 seconds left in the two-man advantage drive. Anderson, and he missed it wide. Turin with it. Near side boards. Turin to Brown again. Now to Kovacic. Score! And that is on the front end of the power play. Missouri State still has 1:42 remaining in the 5-minute major. Andrew Kovacic gets the goal. And for Kovacic, that's his third goal of the season. And Missouri State takes the lead in this series here this weekend.
Well, a big sigh of relief for the Ice Bears fan, and a big rush coming from the crowd there as the Ice Bears break out on top of Alabama for the first time this weekend, as you said. Dr. Ben Goss, you down there?
Well, that's two of the P's that we talked about pre-game, persistence and power play. And despite the great stop by Gunnar Nielsen the first time, when the Bears went top right shelf, they go right back to that same area of the goal, and they find a 1-0 advantage.
And the Ice Bears lose the draw. It comes in almost on goal, but Schumacher racing back to collect it.
Ice Bears power play goal scored by number 20, Andrew Kovacic. Assisted by number 10, Alex Turin, and number 18, Chris Brown. For the Ice Bears, a power play goal from Kovacic, Brown, and Turin. Time of the goal.
And the Ice Bears score again. Another tic-tac-toe play while we were listening to that goal. Tim's got to hurry up next time. Jordan Bratton gets goal number 1 this season for him on a great tic-tac-toe play by Missouri State. And the Ice Bears have taken the lead. Well, they've more than taken the lead. They've taken a 2-0 advantage.
Now don't let up on the accelerator. Teams will go back to full strength with that pair of tallies by the Ice Bears.
Well, no, they shouldn't go back to full strength because of the fact that
they got down under 2 minutes. They already had one man back after the first goal.
But the second goal was a major.
No, it was 2 minors.
Oh, you're right. That's right. It is.
Yeah, it was a double minor, and they were under 2 minutes. So that both penalties off the board now. But a 2-0 advantage
by number 9, Jordan Bratton. Assisted by number 58, Patrick Johansson. And number 81, Brian Schumacher. For the Ice Bears, a power play goal, Bratton from Johansson and Schumacher. Time of the goal, 6:11.
Dan, I didn't get the time of the goal of the first one.
The first one was 14:20 left in the period. Second one, 13:48 left in the period.
Got that, all right. So 5:40 of the first period is goal number 1. Trying to get it all caught up for you.
As the Tide try to come out, and a good defensive play to get it out of the zone by Derek Smith. Comes out to the red line. Seabold has it for Alabama. Tries to work it in on the left side, but it's intercepted there by Maddie. Now it's bounced off the boards by Heiserode and comes all the way out to Wallett for Alabama at his own blue line. And the Crimson Tide will come back just a little bit. Now they finally move it ahead. Wallett tries to drag it from behind himself, does a good job of getting it back, takes it deep into the corner, tries to center through a backhander, and it's knocked away by the defense. Ice Bears have the puck. Outlet pass over the break.
It's coming in all alone. Lounder, he shoots, and it's deflected off the blocker of Nielsen. Lounder still with it again. 12:16 to go, 2-0 Missouri State, and it'll be out to Andrew Nadeau, and he will send it all the way to the Missouri State end, but it gets deflected up and out of play.
12:11 left here in the first period. A 2-0 advantage for the Missouri State University Ice Bears, who came into this series ranked preseason at number 17 in Division I ACHA. The Alabama Hockey Club ranked at number 22.
Chewing the glass with Dr. Ben Goss.
Great heads-up play a moment ago by Derek Smith. As you noted, he made a diving attempt to deflect the puck away when Alabama was charging down the ice, but fortunately for them, they were able to deflect that, and it may have come even actually at the expense of a pane of glass down here, as the officials are working with the crowd in the front row to try to fix that. They've got it repaired, and we're about ready for play again.
So a little momentary pause in the action while they get that fixed. Good crowd on hand once again from Mediacom Ice Park, as we have probably close to 1,000 on hand right now and still coming in the door now and then. I'm Dan Lee. I've got some play-by-play chores for you today along with Steve Casson. Our videographer today is a journalism major at Missouri State University, Chris Leonard. We're glad to have him aboard tonight on WebSportsRadio.com. And of course, Dr. Ben Goss down somewhere in that melee behind the glass down there. And Doc, you're getting a real good first-hand look at what goes on behind the scenes there. What have you learned so far?
Well, I've got a little bit of education in how to repair hockey glass panes, as the Ice Park staff is moving in to try to firm that up on the audience side. It looks ready to go here, and we're back underway on the ice.
And the face-off is taken away by the Ice Bears. They try to work it out of the zone, and it's finally tipped out of there by Austin Davis into the contest for Missouri State University. It's dumped in. Lounders keeps it in the zone for Missouri State as they go back to work. Shane Thornton on the ice now for the Ice Bears as the fourth line gets a little action in right now with a 2-0 lead. Thornton will backhand it out toward the blue line. A big hit delivered by Davis, and the puck shakes free right at the blue line, taken away by Lounder. Lounder back behind the goal. Tips it out to the point. Here's Brennan Anderson. Anderson flips it toward the goal, wide left. Takes a hard bounce all the way out to the blue line, but kept in nicely by Davis. He'll scoop it around the boards. Quick line change coming as Davis heads that way. And Alabama will finally take back the puck. Here's Briere. Briere gets met at the red line by Kovacic. Now it comes back into the zone. And the Ice Bears meet up there 2-on-2, but can't keep it out. Here's a turnaround wrister that sails a little bit wide to the left by Nicholas Messina, and into the near corner they'll scrum. Still scooping along the boards. Down on his knee fighting for the puck is Briere. He gets it around the corner. Ice Bears will take it. Here's Andrew Kovacic. He'll get the lead pass up to Cooley. Cooley in on goal with a shot. This one sails wide to the left. Turin gets banged along the boards by now.
As Cooley is able to pick it up, Cooley is there. He's looking for some help. Gets it over to Johansson right side. He shoots and he just missed wide. Now with 10:35 to go in the period and a 2-0 lead for Missouri State, it's out to center ice. And it will now be Hamblett with it. He sends a lead pass. This should be an icing call, and it is. Icing with 10:25 remaining in the period. And Dan, what I wanted to do was go back to that big save, that big glove save that Nielsen made. And this one was just an incredible save as the Ice Bears were picking the upper corner. And Nielsen said, nope, denied. Well, it's going to happen right about now as Missouri State just worked it. And just an unbelievable save right there. Just something that I think, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at that for a while and say, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Just wow. 10:17 to go in the period and a 2-0 lead. Falling down behind the net is Hamblett. The Ice Bears will have possession of Bratton. He drops it now down in low, gets it behind Barrett, and as a back pass from O'Brien comes in front, Barrett falls down and loses possession. Now O'Brien with it, gets it to the far side. Barrett is with it. Barrett backs it down to Bratton. He's going to work and try to get it around Dylan Teed. He does. Now Barrett. He has it poked away from him. Somebody lost their stick. It is out to center ice, and the Ice Bears will regroup and set it up with 9:44 to go in the period.
Oh, good forechecking pressure by Michael DeLeese that time as he almost stole the puck away.
Line change for Missouri State. 10:35 to go in the first. 2-0 the Ice Bears lead. And it will be out of his own zone. Nicholas Zarcone. Both goals on the power play. Kovacic his third, Bratton his first.
Ice Bears will have to retreat momentarily. And coming straight up the middle is Heiseroth, and he'll get rid of it on the right-hand side. Now it's back to the middle and taken away by Alabama, but a steal. Here's Matt Matty.
He shoots and a blocker save. Rebound to the far side. Now poked into the corner and out to center, and here comes in Andrew Durkin.
Durkin leaves it behind. We're going to get a penalty as they bring Nielsen out of the goal. It's going to be against Missouri State. With 8:55 left in the first period, Alabama's going to get their first power play. And we've got a player down on the ice. And let's see what happens. I think it's Sam Heiseroth down there. What do you see, Dr. Ben Goss?
It is indeed Sam Heiseroth, and he is looking to get back to his skates after getting into a tangle against the boards with the Frozen Tide's Andrew Durkin as they both pursued the puck on the far side as we look at it from our perch here. But one telling stat, guys, in the unofficial stat category on the scoreboard, 9 shots on goals for these Ice Bears, 0 for the Frozen Tide with 8:55 left here in the first period of play.
That is a very telling statistic right now as Sam is going to be helped to the locker room, and it looks like a lower leg injury of some sort. So the Ice Bears, I think the penalty was going to be against Heiseroth, so it'll be Lounder who comes to the penalty box to serve the term for him. And this will be power play number 1 for Alabama.
So Heiseroth will get the interference. And as you mentioned, first power play.
So let's see how Brendan Shuck holds up under the pressure. We haven't even had to call his name much tonight because they have not gotten a shot on goal. I just realized that. Let's see what happens here with Alabama's first power play opportunity of the night, as the draw is won by Alabama, and they'll set things up with Wallett on the right point. And they work it to him. He'll take the drive and a save. Rebound, scramble, loose puck, and it knocked off of a defender who was standing in the way and covering the right side of the net to help his goaltender out.
Well, and that came off of Derek Smith's hand, and he took his glove off, and he said, oh, I still have my digits. Everything's good.
What a great job to back up Brendan Shuck, as Shuck had to make a couple of tough saves, and then he got some help from Smith.
8:22 remaining. Rooney's there. for Alabama. Wallette, but stepping in front of him is Maddie. He gets dug hard behind the boards. Taken away, though, Wallette. And Maddie is there to trip him. Penalty.
Yeah, and this is an unfortunate penalty, but it's going to happen. And the goaltender out once again as Alabama tries to take advantage. They're not going to be able to, and guess what? Alabama's going to get their own two-man advantage.
Very ill-advised penalty right there. It's coming out of your own zone. He wasn't moving much at all. And now not only do you get a two-man advantage, but you really did not need to take that penalty at all.
I don't think he intended to. I think his stick just got kind of caught up in the skates. And you're going to get flagged for that every time.
Between the glass, Dr. Ben Goss.
When Sam Heitzeroth limped by me, it appeared to be as though he were favoring his right knee or right ankle.
And Alabama will go to work with a two-man advantage now as the Ice Bears unfortunately return the favor. And there's a shot from the left side score on the rebound, or did it just trickle through on the initial shot coming from the left-hand side? But it's 2-1 on the power play goal. Couldn't see the number of the shooter from the left-hand side. If he is the goal scorer without any help, we'll have to wait for the official announcement.
Looks like 89. So
this game was 7:52 left here in the first period.
Looks like Jack Rooney.
We'll wait for the official call, but for right now, that sounds good. And Alabama still with a one-man advantage now to try to tie this thing up. Ice Bears took advantage of a two-man advantage with two goals.
A goal scored by number 88, Andrew Durkin, assisted by number 90, Jeremy Hanna, number 12, Brandon Tutt for Alabama. Durkin from Hanna and Tutt for the power play goal. Time of the goal, 12:08.
I really think Durkin was the one standing down close to the goal, so he might have gotten the rebound or a redirect.
Well, Dr. Ben Goss, did you see the number on that?
Guys, I did not catch the number because it happened from this left-hand corner, which is obscured by many layers of glass, but it was in there in a real big hurry on Brendan Schuck. He didn't have any time to react to it as it was hit from a sharp angle.
Second goal for Durkin as they announce it at that. We'll see if we can take a look at it again and see.
That's second goal in the series, by the way. There's a shot through a lot of legs, and a good job of Brendan Schuck to stop that one coming through the trees off of the stick of Wallette. Puck back behind the goal. 1:06 left in the power play for Alabama.
Well, that's the second goal for Durkin, if it is his second goal of the season.
Of the season.
Of the season,
I thought for the series.
No.
Okay, so Alabama momentarily chased out of the zone. Ice Bears do a good job of killing some time here.
And it is of the series, too. Both goals were scored.
So we're
one
both
yesterday.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Same difference.
All right, so Wallette tries to carry into the zone on the left-hand side, gets as far as the half board, now takes it back to the point. Here's Rooney with a drive that goes wide to the right. Right back to the possession of Alabama. And flipped out. Nice defensive work by Launder.
So this is power play number 3, I believe, Dan, for the Frozen Tide. No. Maybe number 2.
I think it's only 2.
Yeah, because they had the first one and then the concurrent one. Okay.
Yeah.
Works for me. 6:14 to go in the period. And a 2-1 lead. Now with 5 seconds remaining in the power play, it has expired.
And Alabama was happy just to dump it in and chase, but they're not going to get there. And Missouri State gets in a little confrontation as coming out of the box was Maddie. And I think as he came out of the box, the puck flipped into the penalty box, and that's what called the timeout right there.
Well, that's okay. No problem, as long as he didn't touch it.
No, he didn't touch it. He just happened to hit the gate he was coming out of and bounced into the penalty box. So we'll go to the face-off dot closest to it, and the Ice Bears will win the draw. They lead 2-1, 5:55 left here in the first period. And they have it in the zone.
Across the line to Barrett, drive-in save, rebound is taken away, and it'll be Johnson with it for Alabama to Gottfried on the right side.
Godfrey tries to split the defense, does a good job of it, gets off a short-angled shot, and a good stop by Schuck will end that play. Shots on goal were at one time 9-0 in favor of the Ice Bears. That has turned around dramatically, especially with the help of the power play, and it's now 9-6 in favor of Missouri State University. as we'll face this one off to the left of goalkeeper Brendan Shuck as he looks out. Bratton wins the draw for the Ice Bears. They'll bounce it off the boards. Trying to break a man is Barrett. He can't get to it as it's flipped back the other direction. Alabama dumps it in and looks for some forechecking pressure as they send Now in deep. Jacob Now, and this one is offside, I believe.
It's a hand pass.
Oh, a hand pass, okay. So Shuck won't get credit for a pretty dandy glove save there. Coming up in intermission, we've got an interview for you.
Head coach of the Alabama Frozen Tide, Kyle Richards. We'll talk to him.
Tutt to the face-off dot, wins the draw from Maddie, and Alabama will go back to work on offense. Nice bounce off the boards, in on goal, wrap around the tent, and letting it slide off the end of his stick was Mark Demers, or he'd have had a golden opportunity as he pulled Shuck all the way to one side and went around the other side, but had it trickle off the end of his blade. And now Alabama with a feed out front, intercepted. Good job by Brown, and the Ice Bears will have it.
They're in the midst of a change, but they lead Salnikov. Backhander and a blocker save. Salnikov avoids a check behind the net. It'll go to Rubin. In front, nobody there, but Rubin gets his own rebound in front, and a blocker save again as Anderson got the shot. Anderson this time avoids the diving Rooney. It'll go to the near side, and chased once again by Rubin. Sends it down in low. Ice Bears lead 2-1. Here's Salnikov getting some room and sending it over to Smith. Now behind the net. Working it to Matt Matty. Up the middle off of Salnikov's stick. Intercepted by Wallet of Alabama, and he's able to go on the left side and send it all the way in.
Wallet sends a bounder in towards Shuck. He'll pin it against the netting on the stick side and stop play with 4:19 left here in the first period. 2-1, Ice Bears out in front.
Check of the out-of-town scoreboard thanks to Dan Dow. And UNLV with a sweep over Colorado. They shut them out tonight. UNLV running Rebels 7-0.
Wow. Did not see that coming. Face off to the right of Brendan Shuck. Staring each other down, and Turin will get the better of that draw. Ice Bears have the puck.
Lead pass that finally connects to Cooley. Cooley waits for everyone to catch up. Cooley trying to get it to Turin. It gets deflected into the corner. Now as the Ice Bears work the puck with 4:04 remaining in the period, a high shot by Johansson goes high and wide. Far side, down in front of the Alabama bench. It's underneath the stick of Durkin and back down into the Missouri State zone.
Nicholas Zarconi finding his first action for Alabama, gets out there and takes a couple of steps before he finally heads to the bench. And the puck is in the Ice Bears zone. Around the near board it comes. Ice Bears trying to work it free.
They do, but it's intercepted, taken away by Durkin. And Kovacic at center ice with possession. 3:33 to go in a 2-1 hockey game. Steve Casson, Dan Lee, Christopher Leonard doing camera work for us, and Dr. Ben Goss between the glass as Rooney will send it ahead, and a nice move now to Nick Messina.
And Messina has it poked off of his stick by Smith, and the Ice Bears come with Kovacic.
Now to Cooley, back to Turin, gets a shot on it, and it's blocked, and he had his back to it, was Nick Price, sent down in low. Turin with a hit behind the net, working it is Briere, but the Ice Bears have it. Oh, they couldn't get to it, and they clear it back out to center ice. They'll reset to Thornton. Here's Shane Thornton, and he has his stick broken up by DeLeese, and it's cleared out to center ice, where Davis will have it. Thornton has to go to the bench. He doesn't have a stick. Now the Ice Bears with possession. They move it across the line to Davis, but just offside was Sasha Perron. Offsides with 2:43 to go in the period, and a 2-1 lead for Missouri State.
I imagine Thornton right there was pretty thankful that all he came away with was losing his stick. He got kind of high load from front and back at the same time and managed to stay on his skates. That was the remarkable thing.
Same officials as yesterday. Craig Smith and Jason Carrera are the referees. Mark Marzola and Dan O'Very are the linesmen. Johansson, after the draw win, he'll give it to Anderson, sends it behind the net. Wallet intercepts for Alabama. As Wallet has trouble with it, it goes to the corner now and grabbed by Godfrey out of Cedar Run, New Jersey.
Godfrey tries to bank a pass to himself off the boards and receives a nifty hip check for his effort.
Well, it's not nifty enough. It's not nifty enough for the official.
No way! Oh my goodness, that was a pretty hip check. Are they saying the puck left his stick
They're calling it interference.
Oh, I don't believe it. That looked like one of the nicest hip checks I've seen in a while. I guess they're saying the puck was out of his possession a little longer than I thought.
Sasha Perron will go, and this is power play number 3 now for the Frozen Tide.
What do you think about that one, Dr. Ben Goss?
Well, judging by the body language of everybody on the ice, I think everybody was surprised by that call.
2:16 remaining, and the puck is cleared out and all the way down into the Alabama zone. Will we come the other way, left to right?
Alabama with their third power play right on the doorstep, and a great stop by Shuck as they had him, and he slid across and managed to trap that pass right in front of the pipe. And there's a broken stick as Alabama finds themselves loose defensively.
Wallette doesn't have a stick. Now here's Lounder, gives it over to the trailer and Matty, and it goes off of his skate, and the Ice Bears just had a golden opportunity with a defenseman having no stick, and they couldn't get anything started.
Well, they are shorthanded, and they were playing some defense at the time. They're going to have a call the other direction now. No, it's just an icing call that got waved off, and now it's flipped up into the netting.
Well, I'll give you that one. But they had a defenseman who was short a stick. They could have at least tried to get a shot off, and they didn't do that.
Yeah. Still 2-1, though. Ice Bears with the advantage. 1:07 left in the penalty to Sasha Perron. So Alabama with an opportunity to tie this thing up. Ice Bears took an early 2-0 advantage on a couple of power play goals. A power play answer for Alabama later on, and now they have a chance to tie. Here's a shot from the left side that goes whistling up high after deflection. Into the corner it goes. Now back behind. Alabama trying to stick a pass out into the low part of the zone. Can't get it done, and it's flung out of there.
Sent all the way down where Nielsen will flip it up and out to center ice. Working it is Briere. Ice Bears steal the puck. They have it in front to Turin and just off of his stick. We're less than a minute to go in the first period, and it'll be Jacob now with it.
Now with a pair of goals yesterday, drops it behind. There's the shot, and a good save by Brendan Shuck off the stick of Nicholas Messina. Now the puck comes left side. A drive, this one off of the skate of Derek Smith, and it's cleared.
All the way down with authority. Nielsen will quickly get it up. The Ice Bears change possession, or change men now, but on that possession change, they're able to grab it at center, although Siebold is able to move it around some broken sticks, and it's cleared out to center ice. Anderson racing hard. He's taken out with a slide. Here comes Messina on a break.
And he's got help. Messina on the left side, and a pass through, and a goal. Perfect pass from Nicholas Messina. Found a man, or did he actually bounce it off of Shuck? I think maybe he actually tried to slide it across the crease and it bounced in off of Shuck's pad. We'll wait and see on the official call. There was plenty of crimson jerseys there to tap that one home if he did not do it himself. And it's a 2-2 hockey game with 19 seconds left in the first period. All goals coming on power play so far.
Yeah, it's hard to tell on this replay, but we'll catch the call in a moment.
Goal scored by number 40, William Zeke.
Okay.
Assisted by number 7, Nick Messina. For Alabama, Zeke from Messina. Time of the goal, 19:41.
All right, so it was the perfect pass across to William Zeke that made that happen, and Zeke taps it home for a 2-2 tie.
So Zeke gets his first goal of the season. As we have a little scrum going on.
And we'll see if we get some penalties out of this.
And it looks like
I think it's going to go against Siebold.
Siebold, just the one?
Apparently.
Dan, that was the only non-extra team special teams goal. So it'll be a power play. Missouri State will work on number 3. Penalties are even up, 3 for 6 minutes each.
Say that again, I'm not sure. We'll wait a minute.
Okay, the first 3 goals were scored on special teams. Power play, this one was the only one that was not. This
I thought it was a power play. Okay.
As everything expires here in the first period.
It had expired by about a second and a half. You're right.
That was not a power play goal.
Yep. The penalty came at 2:21. The goal came at 19. So you're right. It expired just barely.
So after one period of play, a 2-2 contest. Shots 11-9 unofficially, and I say unofficially because shots have been slow to come up on the board. Brendan Schuck facing 9, Gunnar Nielsen facing 11. We go back to the first period where Andrew Kovacic starts things for Missouri State. And Kovacic's goal makes it a 1-0 affair at 5:40 of the period. This one is on the power play. Turin and Chris Brown, and Missouri State has the 1-0 lead. Then the Ice Bears had a bid for another goal, but this one was thwarted by the glove of Nielsen. Just a huge opportunity for Chris Brown, or for Turin actually, and just a huge glove save, and it's still a 1-1 game. Then Jordan Branton comes back, and at 6:11 with a power play goal to make it a 1-0 lead. All right, well, we'll get to that in a second. We now have head coach Jeremy Law down on the ice. Jeremy.
Coach, a wild and woolly first period of play. Your thoughts?
Just dumb penalties. We took 2 or 3 dumb penalties that period, so they scored 2 power play goals. But 5-on-5, I thought we were great.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second period.
Thank you.
All right, sorry to keep Coach waiting, but let's get back to the second goal for Missouri State. As I mentioned, this one makes it a 2-0 affair. This one on the power play, Bratton and Missouri State sitting pretty, but all of a sudden things start to change, and the goal by Durkin, this one along the goal line on the left side, his power play goal, his second of the season, second goal, first power play goal, and Missouri State is now at a 2-1 game, and then Zeke will get the equalizer. And I don't know if he tipped it in or maybe an Ice Bear tipped it in or something, but it was a little difficult.
Yeah, I think Zeke got it as he came across the crease, or he got a perfect pass from Messina.
So after 2 periods of play, after 1 period of play, it's 2-2. That's what I meant to say. And we will take a quick break. I need to take a break too. We all do. And when we come back, we will talk with the head coach of the Alabama Frozen Tide and Kyle Richards. We'll do that in just a moment on Web Sports Radio. 2-2 after 1 period of play.
Hey, Missouri! Barrel Bob here. I'm MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. I see a lot of distracted drivers in work zones not paying attention to the road. Distracted driving is the #1 cause of crashes. The average text takes 5 seconds to read. At 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. Don't take the chance. I want you and my friends working on the roads to get home safely. Please buckle up and put your phone down. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Welcome back to MediaCom iSpark. Steve Cass and Dan Lee on KBFL and on Web Sports Radio. Joining us now is the head coach of the Alabama Frozen Tide, and Kyle Richards. And Kyle, you get your first win as a D1 against a D1 team. Now, you, of course, had a shutout win over, I believe they were a Division II team.
Division III.
Oh, yeah. Division III in Auburn. Yeah. Okay, well, that would explain maybe a shutout win. But I don't know, were you a little trepidatious, wondering what yesterday's game was going to be like, and all of a sudden, turns out you get the win?
Yeah, I wouldn't say trepidatious. We were certainly ready. I think maybe a little bit of the caution was just, having such a young team. We're obviously real young in net with 2 freshmen and 2 sophomore. So we've had great weeks of practice, and we kind of knew what we had there, but it's obviously nice to see it happen in a game and see it translate. Really impressed with our work ethic and kind of the nuts and bolts of the game. I think we had 30 block shots. We knew we were in for a good one. We watched Missouri State last year at the national tournament, and then obviously watched their games last weekend. So we knew it would be a good hockey game, and I think that's what we got. And we're obviously happy that we came out with the win.
If somebody said to you that you would face 41 shots, you'd only get 18, there would be 10 minutes of score-at-will power play time against you, and you still end up winning the hockey game, would you have told somebody, okay, that was a dream that never happened?
Yeah, I probably would ask them maybe, what kind of beer you're drinking. But no, like I said, I think what helped us there was the nuts and bolts of the game, was the block shots. We got pucks out in a timely manner. And like I was saying to our broadcaster last night, we really don't focus on the penalty kill too much. We do a lot of power play in practice because to us, penalty kill is really just hard work and principles. And I think after 1 or 2 power plays against us, we kind of saw what they were looking to do, and obviously we knew we had to get in lanes and block shots and help our young freshman goalie out. And obviously, he played outstanding, and that was awesome to see for his first career game.
Well, I'll throw out some stats to you, especially with the special teams. So your power play is 1 for 8, you're 12.5%. Missouri State's power play is 1 for 21, 4.7%. So, if you think you've got a bad power play, look at Missouri State. And then you talk about penalty kill. Missouri State's penalty kill, 1 for 14. They've allowed 92.9. You're right up there at 100%. You've not allowed any goals on 11 shorthanded situations. And as we mentioned, the 10 minutes worth of shorthanded situations for you in yesterday's game. But you do mention the block shots, and that's the key, because Missouri State could not get anything up the middle, and when they did, you had some great defensive play. You had guys that were really kind of putting themselves in harm's way and getting right back up and getting into it again. Is this the type of team that you thought you were going to put together, especially when you really only have one player from Alabama?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a team that we thought we had. We knew we had some skill and some speed, but like I was telling some of our guys and the other coaches last night, I think that's the first time in my first 2 years here that we've really seen that type of effort for 60 minutes. And then you bring up the special teams. I know that the numbers don't sound great for the power play, but obviously, we've played 2 games, Missouri State playing 3, and there's loads of talent on each power play unit for each team, so those could change fairly quickly. But it's nice to see, our penalty kill clicking at 100%, because even though we don't work on it, strategically a lot, it's nice to see kind of the principles come out with the hard work and the block shots and things like that. So we talked with our power play a lot today. Hopefully that'll turn around, but I'm sure Missouri State will be doing the same thing.
And that's the thing. If we're talking now, the next time we meet in Pelham, Alabama, back in February, obviously stats will be a big different situation. But you mentioned freshman-laden squad per se, as in maybe half your team or a little less than half your team is. But you do have some seniors on the team. You have guys that, in fact, one of them, Thomas Godfrey, what an unbelievable pass yesterday. And, I got to tell you, that was almost an NHL-type goal. That was scored off of his pass, and I think Now got that one.
Yeah.
And just you look at that and you think, all right, Alabama's for real.
Well, we like to think we were for real, and obviously coming off a pretty good year last year. Funny you say that. I know some of the guys were razzing Thomas, and we didn't even know he could make a saucer pass. And if you saw later in the game, him and Now had another 2-on-1, and he tried the same play, and he came back to the bench, and I told him to, take it easy, McDavid. You don't always have to throw the sauce. But, you mentioned, most of our guys are a good chunk are freshmen, and then we do have a lot of seniors. So it was great to see a ton of the freshmen step up, play big minutes. We're without one of our top seniors right now for this weekend in Taylor Joseph. And then, one of our other top centers is out, got hurt in warm-ups last night, and he only played a couple shifts. So just, again, to see kind of everybody pull it together when, we're down a couple of our guys that we normally lean on was extremely nice to see, and we're hoping we can kind of have the same effort tonight. Joining us is the Alabama Frozen Tide head coach and Kyle Richards here on KBFL and on Web Sports Radio. The last time we played, there was kind of a year hiatus, if you want to call it that. Scheduling just didn't work out. But prior to that, Missouri State and Alabama had split games. And in one of those games, the guy that you mentioned that's out, Taylor Joseph, he had the hat trick in that game. And how much is it, and when I say is it a difference, because it looked like it wasn't a difference yesterday, but how much is it a difference not having him in the lineup? Oh, it's a huge difference. He slows the game down like you wouldn't believe. His talent is really second to none in this league. So it definitely hurt us offensively, and that might have had something to do with, only our 18 shots. So obviously, he practices all 2 weeks ago and played in the Auburn game, and then this week we had to put together a new power play, obviously without him. So it hurt us a little bit. I wouldn't say a ton, but it definitely hurt us offensively. But like I said, just to see some of the other guys step up and play big minutes that don't normally play in situations like that was awesome to see. And we know once we get Taylor back that if we can get that kind of effort and then bring him back, it'll be a really nice added piece.
in that one game against Auburn, each goaltender got to play 20 minutes, and I'm assured that, or I'm assuming that you looked at each goaltender. Did you think that Nielsen would play the way he played in yesterday's game?
Yeah, I mean, we were certainly expecting that type of performance, and we expect that type of performance from any of the goalies that we have, and we knew, again, any of the three that we put in last night, that they would have given us that performance. But, our goalies have been working so hard, and it was really, we really didn't know who was going to play last night until yesterday morning, and that just shows, again, the work ethic of those three goalies and how they've looked over the 2 weeks. And that's kind of why we did that in the Auburn game, is give each guy a chance and evaluate them after that. And obviously, with a combined shutout, it was everybody kind of was on the same level. So again, whoever we put in there, and really up and down our lineup, forwards, defense, we picked guys for this team that can play every night. There's no weak link, so we're confident in everybody that goes in our lineup.
Kyle Richards joining us, the head coach of the University of Alabama. Now do you guys go by Frozen Tide? Do you go by the Tide? What's your?
I know the Frozen Tide was big back, a couple years ago. I think it's a little bit drifted away from that. Some say just Alabama hockey. Some people call us the Crimson Tide because we are the University of Alabama. So it's pick and choose whatever you'd like, really. I don't think we have a preference. I think Alabama hockey is kind of what we go with on our website and things like that, but obviously we're more well known as the Frozen Tide.
Obviously, because it's a Division I squad now, and you guys made that leap just like Arkansas from Division III straight into Division I, and you're really no worse for wear to be able to schedule, because you have Iowa State, just like we do. You have the University of Pittsburgh. Looking down here, you actually have Illinois scheduled this year, which we've been trying to get, and unfortunately their head coach is moving on to Russia to play at the time that we were scheduled to play them, so that's why we can't do that this season, but it'll happen. You've got Duquesne, West Virginia, and you're kind of, even though you're in the South, you're kind of in a sense centrally located per se, because you can play a lot of the WCHL teams like we have, but you can also play some of the East Coast teams and up north and stuff, so that's a little beneficial for a team that really you're the only show in Alabama.
Yeah, no, it's really nice, and again, it is nice that we can kind of play teams from every league. It is tough, I think the trip up here was 8.5 hours, and that's one of our shorter trips. So we're used to the long trips, the 10, 11, 12 hours. It's funny when I talk to other coaches, and they say, we can't come there because it's too far, and and I say, well, we're doing that every other weekend. But it is what it is, and that's kind of the situation we're in, that we do have to do a lot of the traveling. And, as far as our schedule, we felt that this was kind of our year with the team that we had to make our run at Nationals. And I know that the guys wanted a tougher schedule, and obviously we want to challenge ourselves each and every week. So that's kind of why we put teams on there like Illinois and Adrian, who were in the finals last year, and Missouri State and Iowa State, and the list goes on, really. I think there's about 8 teams on our schedule that were at the national tournament last year, so and we're looking to see.
Ranked 22 at 17. That's got to bode, because get teams that'll play schedule now that you look at Alabama and you say, all right, this is a team that can win. We better watch out. All right, we'll play them.
Yeah, no, and it is a lot easier to schedule now. I know last year was kind of, I was late scheduling, and I was nervous about putting together the schedule that we did, and obviously it all worked out. But we do have tons of teams that, want to play us. They either want to come to us or they want to bring us into their building, because, other than hockey, we are, just a big name school, and everywhere we go, we hear Roll Tide. We heard that in the mall today walking around, and I think one of the guys in the pro shop's wearing an Alabama golf shirt right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice, like I said earlier, we'll go anywhere, we'll play anybody. But yeah, we do feel like we, kind of are on our way to becoming one of the top tier programs in this league. So again, we're open to playing anybody and anywhere.
Kyle Richard joining us, the head coach of the University of Alabama, and I've got you down as the Frozen Tide. We're just going to call you that for now, and like I tell everybody, good luck for the entire season except for tonight's game. Okay,
that's all right. Well, good luck to you guys as well, except for tonight. So
all right, that sounds good.
Give and take.
Yep. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll take a break, be back. More hockey coming up in a moment.
Now playing at Mediacom Ice Park in Springfield, a new ice age. It's the Missouri State Ice Bears hockey, now through February. Exciting, hard-hitting, fast-paced collegiate hockey, Ice Bears style. Get your advance tickets at Missouri State Tix box offices or call 417-836-7678. Tickets also available at the games. There are no speed limits at Mediacom Ice Park when you see Ice Bears hockey.
This is Barrel Bob, MoDOT's Work Zone spokesbarrel. You'll be seeing more of me as the weather warms up. Crews will be working on our roads. That means lanes will be closed for construction and maintenance work on our highways. As you approach a work zone, please don't drive distracted. You need to pay attention. I want you and my friends working on the roads to all get home safely. Remember, buckle up and put down your phone. A message from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
It's time to drop the puck on the second period. Here's Dan Lee.
Well, the Ice Bears in better shape right now than they were about this time. Well, yesterday it was a 0-0 tie
0-0 game, so we're still tied.
Yeah, we're still tied. It's 2-2 here at the end of one period of play. The Ice Bears will get to start this second period with 1 minute and 50 seconds worth of power play time, and power plays have proven crucial tonight. I know that technically only 3 out of the 4 goals provided were power plays, but really, in essence, that last goal by Alabama came with the power play having expended itself like a second and a half before. So really, the defensemen for Missouri State did not have an opportunity to get back and help out on defense. So in a way, that's kind of a power play too, although it'll go down as a 5-on-5. But the penalties tonight have been crucial both ways. Both teams getting two-man advantages, both teams making good on those two-man advantages and power play opportunities, and that's why we're tied at 2-2.
Well, I'm not sure if we have him, but Dr. Ben Goss still between the glass.
He might be getting himself a frosty root beer or something.
Yeah, either that or getting some information.
No, guys, I'm here.
There he is.
Just had to get the mic on and ready to go here, and tried to get an injury update on Sam, but not able to do so. So hopefully he will be back in good shape, but it did not look good, admittedly, when he walked me, and the trainers are going to have their work cut out for him working with him, I'm afraid.
Ben, your opinion of that first period of action?
Well, it was very much a pendulum. First it went the Ice Bears' way, and then it went the way of the Frozen Tide, and penalties were indeed a key for both teams in terms of being able to capitalize, but that was a very nifty pass, actually, on the assist from Messina on the goal that the Frozen Tide closed the first period out with, and legit goal, no fluke bounce or fluke tip or anything of that sort. And Alabama was able to knot this thing up at the last possible moment. So we've got a brand new game coming out here as the clock goes under 1 minute before we start the second period of play.
Well, we have another P word, and perfect. That was a perfect pass, as you said, so.
Sesame Street hockey, is that what we're playing nowadays?
Why not?
It would appear to be that way, yes, indeed. Why not? All the that I really needed to learn in life, I learned by watching Sesame Street anyway.
Me too.
I'll tell you what.
That would explain a lot about why I act the way I do.
Well, I learned from Schoolhouse Rock because I know a bill when it's a bill.
24 seconds left in intermission. I want to resort to doing the time clock in intermission now just to get to be a part of this conversation. Well, the Ice Bears will come back out momentarily, as will the Frozen Tide of Alabama. 2-2 hockey game, but a power play opportunity for the Ice Bears, and boy, they got to capitalize.
Yeah, they have 150 left in Brian Siebold's penalty. And, you know, we talked about it. Penalties are going to be part of the game.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's going to be. But at this point, you kind of hope that they don't take your momentum away. You hope that Missouri State will not, I'm going to use another P word, procrastinate and get things going, because they had a 2-0 lead and things have changed a little bit. This Alabama team is not giving up.
Well, perfect puck passing could help out as well.
Sure. A potentially perfect percussion pass.
Oh, this is sad. 11-9 the shots on goal, by the way, in that first period in favor of Missouri State University. Of course, last night the Ice Bears had a huge advantage on shots on goal and just couldn't find the net. Hopefully that statistic will even out tonight as well. I'm Dan Lee. I've got the ice to your left to start this second period in a 2-2 tie. Steve Casson with the ice to your right. Brand new videographer tonight. Our intern tonight is journalism major Chris Leonard, and we are so thankful to have you aboard tonight. And of course, the man between the glass down there close to the ice level action is Dr. Ben Goss.
And we are underway as Missouri State skates from the right to the left. Left to the right will be Alabama, and the Ice Bears will have it in their own zone. Although they can't clear it, Turin will get possession, and right in front of his goaltender, Shuck, the Ice Bears will come out of their own zone with Turin after a pass across the red line into the zone now.
And a nice pass to Kovacic. He'll drop it back on the point, and Kovacic will go man the wing on the left-hand side as Brown has the ice on the point on the left side. Anderson mans on the right, now goes to the top of the slot. To Kovacic, fans partially on the shot, has to track it down himself. They'll work it back out to the point. Now left side, here's Chris Brown. Brown looks in, can't find any way past the box defense of the penalty killers of Alabama. Here's a one-timer by Turin, and it goes just wide to the right. Might have been partially deflected. Comes to the near corner. Ice Bears have it deep in the corner. Kovacic looks out. Now goes cross ice to Brown. At the top of the slot is Anderson. Back to Covey. Andrew skates back out toward the top of the face-off circle. Gives it back on the top of the wing. Here's Anderson looking in. Takes a shot. It's knocked down, and this might be a break.
Racing is Chris Brown, and he's able to take it away, and a good play from Thomas Godfrey, but here come the Ice Bears.
Cooley with the shot. Save. Rebound saved. Two quick saves that time for Gunnar Nielsen on the advancing Cooley, and it comes back out. Hunter will go down low. Camps out at the crease. Waiting for someone to give it to him. Here's Anderson. Now goes on the right side. Brown looks in, takes the shot, save, rebound, Cooley, and he can't scoop it in. It goes off the backboard, and back out it comes. Still in possession, 4 seconds left in the power play. Here's Brown at the top of the slot. Looking, can't find anything. Turin fakes the shot, now gives left side, Kovacic, shot, and a save. Now right back down on the doorstep. And not able to turn around with the shot as Cooley, and the puck is flipped out, and Alabama has killed the penalty.
And they also iced it. They can't change. So here's the advantage for Missouri State. You have a tired bunch of penalty killers. You just had a great opportunity. Now they cannot change. And you have the face-off deep in the Alabama zone. Missouri State, they should win this thing, get a shot. You've got some tired defenders for Alabama right now.
Jordan Bratton will see what he can do at the face-off circle. Oh, and Alabama wins the draw. They'll get it right around to the point, take it out of the zone, and it comes out to the red line. Barrett gets tripped up there, and we'll get a call.
Icing will be the call.
No, is that an icing call? Are you sure?
Yeah, he was not across the line when he sent that down.
Okay, yeah, so, you're right. That was the linesman made that call.
Missouri State with 13 shots, which is, I don't know if it's official. Dan, I know you told me you're going to try to keep shots today.
That's pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. I would trust that number.
17:42 to go in the period. Ice Bears do win the draw in their own zone. Schumacher putting some defense on, goes to the near side. That'll be taken by Zane O'Brien out of St. Louis, Missouri. The junior with 3 assists gets it up to center ice and back down into the Alabama zone. Alabama turns and burns. It'll go to Andrew Nadeau. He will bring it up to the near side and shove it into the corner on the right side. Now to Tutt. Tutt proceeded behind the net. Moved it over to Demers. Back to Tutt. In low. Johansson for Missouri State. Off of Barrett's hip. Up the middle. And a partial shot is taken away by Bratton, and Missouri State has a 3-on-2.
Oh, and a big hook there that does not get called.
Yes,
Bratton
it does.
Comes across, and now, yeah, they did call it. Okay, here comes the goaltender out. I was wondering for a minute there. I didn't see an arm.
It was the back referee who called it, and that was Craig Smith. It's a slashing call. So Missouri State, I believe, power play 4, Dan?
Yes. Each team had 3 power plays coming into this period, and this will be power play opportunity number 4 for the Ice Bears.
Demers will go, and we'll see what Missouri State can do here. It's a 2-2 hockey game. Power play by Kovacic, his third, Bratton his first, Durkin for Alabama his second, and Zeke his first.
Anderson starts with a shot that gets caromed off of a couple of hip pads and comes back out to the corner. On the right side is Brown. Anderson with the wrister, saved, and the rebound comes straight out to Alabama.
And Messina's going to race, but all there is Chris Brown, and just enough to get a shot off that is handled easy by Shuck. And Missouri State will come out of their own zone with Kovacic.
Kovacic gets ahead of steam, comes down the left side, works through traffic, tries to dump it into the corner for Cooley. He'll track it down right behind the netting. Now it comes back out. Ice Bears will set it back up. 1:17 left in the power play as they work on the right side with Turin. And then on the right point with Chris Brown. Turin has it. Alex will launch the shot, knocked down by the defenseman. And the puck trickles past the stick and goes all the way out to center ice. The Ice Bears will have to go back. Quick line change for both squads. Actually just a one-man change for Missouri State as Bratton comes on for Turin. Ice Bears intercept at the red line. A weak dump-in pass for more line changes. And now the Ice Bears will have to count on Shuck to hold up action for just a moment.
Here comes Brown, trying to move it out of his zone. He does, gets it around now. Brown into the zone, one-hands it, has some help from O'Brien.
Zane O'Brien skates to the slot, now dumps it off. Give and go, but it doesn't get back that way as a nice defensive play intercepts for Alabama. Tipped in by Schumacher, though. Here's a shot at the doorstep, and a good save that time.
Power play has 22 seconds. Line change for both teams. Schumacher with one last opportunity and an effort for Missouri State.
Here's Schumacher on the left-hand side. Looking for Barrett. Schumacher centers through, and it goes all the way through to Bratton. Bratton gets turned back. Down into the corner, O'Brien gets turned around. Now they get to the top. Here's Bratton with a shot. Saved. Rebound is flipped up into the air and out of play. And that will do it for the power play.
Between the glass, Dr. Ben Goss.
One trademark of Alabama in this particular series, guys, has been the play of its defenseman on the power play in the crease. And this time, number 19 defenseman Brian Siebold had a big pickoff for the Tide that thwarted the Ice Bears and was able to help kill off the penalty yet again for the Frozen Tide.
Matt Matty to the faceoff circle. Ice Bears can't control the faceoff, however, as it comes to Alabama.
Well, Missouri State is 50% on the power play today. That's much better than their stats indicate. Here's Derek Smith along the goal line, puts a hit on his man. That man is double teamed, can't see who it is until it comes out. And that was Demers. Now we come the other way, and across the line, Ice Bears have it.
And they'll try to work it down in low, and finally do get it to Schumacher. He shovels it back out toward the corner. Smith will knock it back the other direction. Ice Bears have Alex Rubin in there on the play, and he tries to turn it back. Now Schumacher, or actually Matty, tries to shovel it in through the crease, just a little bit wide that time. Blast from the right side is chipped up into the netting to stop play, and now a little extracurricular activity on the near half board.
Yeah, that was from the freshman Derek Smith out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Has a goal already. Played for the Butte Cobras of the WSHL, 8 goals, 14 assists, and prior to that, from 2014 to 2017, he played with the Springfield Express, where he had 24 goals and 61 assists. Dr. Ben Goss between the glass.
Kalen Breer for the Frozen Tide is still face down and holding the back of his neck as the trainers look at him. And he got the worst end by far of that exchange with the Ice Bears.
Jeremy Hanna not happy with the situation as he has a few heated words with the line judge. But he will go peaceably to the bench for Alabama. And still some jawing going on with the referees.
Well, they're down in the corner. They're still waiting as the trainer is coming out. As Ben Goss just mentioned, they still have a player down. I'm not sure if we can get a good view of it.
Yeah, guys, he's getting to his skates right now, but he's definitely had his buzzer buzzed for sure.
Well, Mark Demers, we hadn't heard a whole lot of him last night, but he has done yeoman's job for Alabama tonight. He seems like he's buzzing all over the place.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that this team does, and I think that's actually Kalen Breer who's down, as Ben Goss had mentioned, from Philadelphia, the freshman, 5'11", 175. If you look at this lineup between Missouri State and Alabama. Alabama has a lot of guys that are about the 190, 200 mark, and Missouri State, they're just all speed. So this is a big and quick Alabama squad. 14:03 remaining in the period, and looks like everything is okay.
13-10 the shots on goal, which would tell you, if you were listening earlier, that the Ice Bears did not get an official shot on goal as far as that power play opportunity. They did send a couple of shots that way, but it's been the defense that's knocked them down. As Dr. Ben Goss told you earlier, the defensemen back there are really helping things out and clogging up the lanes. And they took a lot of shots for their goaltender, Gunnar Nielsen. Alabama wins the draw here with 14 minutes to go in the second period, a 2-2 tie. And they'll try to bring it up to the red line. A big check there by Schumacher. Can't shake it loose, but finally it comes back to Johansson. He'll send it the length, and this will be an icing call on the Ice Bears.
So the icing will bring it all the way down into the Missouri State end of the ice. Fans still filing in here. Folks that are listening, I want to give you a big word of warning. Next Friday, get here early, and I mean get here early. The reason? Mr. President will be here at JQH. And who knows what they're going to do as far as blocking off the streets, but he will be at the John Q. Hammonds Arena, which is about 3 blocks from Mediacom Ice Park.
Yeah, and he'll be starting that rally at 6:30 apparently, which is, of course, the most inconvenient time for Ice Bear hockey fans.
Exactly. I'll be here straight from my other job. I'll just drive about half a block, and I'll be here that early. But get here quickly if you're listening and you're coming to the game next Friday.
Yeah, I'll probably come here and park about 3 o'clock and go for a walk.
There you go. It'll be against Jamestown. Here's a 2-on-2 into the zone as Tutt was waiting for a pass from Nadeau. And now Nadeau chases it down to the corner. It's still held in. Dropped down in low by Hamblett. Intercepted by Johansson of Missouri State. It is kicked out to center. And here come the Ice Bears.
Selnikov tries a toe drag around his man. Can't get it done. Good defensive job that time from Saracena. Joseph Saracena for Alabama.
It comes across the line. Drive, score as Tutt gets the shot off right in front of Shuck, and it's a 3-2 lead for Alabama. Missouri State doing everything they could, but they just could not prevent this break, and it's been that way for Missouri State. There have been breaks that have caused a lot of issues. This one turns out to be the go-ahead goal. Dr. Ben Goss between the glass.
Well, indeed, Joseph Saracena did force the issue, but Nick Price also had a hand in that for the Frozen Tide, and they were able to go transition end-to-end to take the lead.
Alabama's goal is scored by number 12, Brandon Tutt. The unassisted goal for Alabama comes at 7:15 in the second period.
So it is an unassisted goal, they're saying, at 7:15, as you heard.
And the Ice Bears fans need to get back into this thing. A little bit quiet here in the second period. Actually, a lot quiet in the second period right now, as they can't believe they've just seen a 2-0 advantage disappear into a 3-2 deficit.
3 straight goals for Alabama. Power play Durkin at 12:08 of the first, 1941. Zeke his first, and now Tutt will get the goal. And for Tutt, that is his 3rd of the season. 12:05 remaining in the period. Out of their own zone from right to left. Here's Davis. Lead pass to Perron.
And Perron gets stood up momentarily, but Davis back to recover, sends it back behind the goal. Puck will come out to Anderson. Brennan sends it a little bit wide to the right. Perron is there to take over. Sasha can't find anything to do with it, and it gets taken away from the backside and flipped up and out of play. 11:43 left, second period, 3-2, Alabama with the advantage.
Dr. Ben Goss between the glass.
As you mentioned earlier, Steve, the Frozen Tide do have a considerable size advantage, and they are using it and taking full advantage of it at this particular point in the ball game. And I believe that's exactly what happened with regard to last night. They wore the Ice Bears down, and it looks like maybe that same thing might be happening again tonight.
All the way down, the puck is cleared. This will be an icing call on Alabama, and we'll bring it back down to the other end. Ice Bears have to find somebody that can deliver a little bit of a spark right now.
Don't forget, our next game will be the University of Jamestown, or Jamestown University. They come in next Friday right here at MediaCom Ice Park. You hope to tune in on Web Sports Radio and on KBFL, AM and FM.
Alabama wins the draw.
And they do lead it now with Nick Price. He one-hands it behind the back of the net. It flips up over the cage off the glass, and Kovacic is there for the Ice Bears. He breaks free out to center, and nifty move to get it across the line.
He goes on the right side. He has a man open. Cooley with a backhander that goes a little bit wide to the right. Alabama had it momentarily, taken away by Turin. He'll bang it off the boards and see if he can find Kovacic behind the net. A little bit too far out in front of him, and it's taken away by Alabama. Out to center ice it comes. Turin with a chip poke, and he gets it away, and it gets into Cooley, who finds Kovacic down the middle, but he can't pull the trigger. Is out to play defensively is Andrew Durkin. It comes around to the left-hand side. Chipped high in the air, glove down by Kovacic. He'll take the shot. This one deflects into the near corner. Back behind the goal, racing forward is Turin. Alex gets there first. Turns around, out front to the slot, and it's taken away by Alabama.
They will flip it up into the zone and go for a line change. Ice Bears quickly get it up. Here's a lead pass to Turin.
A 2-on-1. Turin gets it in to O'Brien. Score!
(3-3) game. And was that a picture-perfect pass? You kind of, as you were watching it develop, hoping that it would develop, and it was just something of beauty for Missouri State as they get the pass going from left to right and underneath Nielsen, and Missouri State has tied the game up at 3-3 on the goal by O'Brien, his first.
Goal scored by number 15, Zane O'Brien. Assisted by number 10, Alex Turin, and number 11, Brennan Anderson.
Anderson gets an assist
for the
as well.
Ice Bears. O'Brien from Turin and Anderson. Time of the goal, 9:38.
Finally, something for the Ice Bears fans to get excited about once again. Now, if we can just keep that going. And a 3-3 tie halfway through this hockey game, or at least regulation. And Alabama loses, won the draw but lost the puck. Here's Bratton, 3-on-2. He'll go to the right side. A little bit too far ahead of Barrett. Travis can't get to it, and something with Travis Barrett as he goes gingerly to the bench. And now a shot saved. Rebound is scrambled for, and finally Nielsen will hop down on top of it. But Barrett kind of looked like he might have had a stinger in his wrist or an elbow or something. And he had to leave the play unexpectedly, and that kind of slowed an opportunity down for the Ice Bears right there. Now we've got Briere headed for the bench with his helmet off. So he may not be recovered from that injury.
Dr. Ben Goss?
Well, Briere just took it out on his stick, flinging it the length of the tunnel here, so I'm not sure that it was anything injury-related so much as it was temper-related.
They may have demanded a concussion protocol from him. Maybe that's why he's upset. He may have had to leave for that.
With 9:36 to go, it's a 3-3 game, and the Ice Bears put some pressure on.
Alabama works its way up ice. Here's Wallette.
Gets it across the line, and a return pass that gets deflected right up the middle. Durkin couldn't get it. Now it is off the boards. Bad bounce for Derek Smith. Enough to break it away, and Solnikov should get possession of it back in his own zone. The Ice Bears will set it up. Great forechecking pressure by Alabama. Here come the Ice Bears.
And they'll work it in, and Rubin is just going to fling it down and dump it in as the Ice Bears go for a quick change. Over the wall they come in big numbers. Sasha Perron had the puck momentarily. It's back on the Ice Bears' own zone. Up at center ice. Lounder couldn't get to it, but Davis does. He'll chip it up high along the boards. Now cross ice pass for Alabama as they work their own end. Tried to get it ahead again, and again Johansson there to knock it down. Lounder will race for it. Couldn't get there in time against DeLeese, and it comes to the near half board. Alabama will recover. Outlet pass on the right-hand side, cross-ice pass, and into the zone, they dump it.
Sent in by Durkin, and a line change for Alabama. 8:22 to go in the period, 3-3 game. It is across the Alabama line and into the zone.
Davis puts it right on the doorstep, and Nielsen comes up with a huge save off the initial shot, and more importantly, managed to cover up on the rebound before Sasha Perron could get his stick down. A little chippiness going on. You would expect that in a 3-3 game between these two squads. As Perron was trying to play the bouncing puck and might have gotten a little piece of Gunnar Nielsen in the process. Ice Bears finally get a couple of shots on goal since that goal by O'Brien. Now leads 16-11 in that category.
Between the glass, Dr. Ben Goss.
One thing that Gunnar Nielsen has showed very clearly so far in this series is his ability to get down on his bottom really quickly and snuff out some potential goals, and that's exactly what happened that time for the Frozen Tide.
Alex Turin will go to the face-off circle, and he'll be, well, now we've got some conversations going on the bench with Jeremy Law. At any rate, Turin will step in against Michael DeLeese, and Turin wins the draw. Ice Bears have the puck in the zone. Schumacher with a wrister that goes wide to the left. Johansson picks up the loose change on the far half board, tries to get it to Kovacic. He's pushed off the puck. Turin had it momentarily, couldn't keep it. Comes to the near side, and away it goes. This should be an icing call.
And it is with 7:55 to go in the period. 3-3 game, 16-11 of the shots. Don't forget, we'll have the Ice Bears Coaches Show tonight live from Civil Kitchen and Tap on Jock 98.7 FM, our sister station, and also on Web Sports Radio. We hope you'll tune in for that.
Face off to the Ice Bears. Anderson lines it up, shoots. Good kneeling shot block that time by Hamlet, Cameron Hamlet. Ice Bears had to retreat momentarily. Now they take it back into the zone. Here's Kovacic with the shot. Right on the pads and held in by Gunnar Nielsen. 7:40 left, second period, 3-3 hockey game, Alabama and Missouri State University.
5:40 on the power play of the first period. Kovacic his third, 6-11. Bratton his first on the power play. Then Alabama comes back with a power play goal by Durkin in the first at 12:08, his second. 19:41, Zeke his first. Alabama takes the lead. Tutt his third at 7:15 of the second, and then Missouri State 9:38. O'Brien his first, and we're tied 3-3.
Here's Dylan Teed.
All across the line, a drive-in save, rebound, save again by Schuck as Teed got his second effort shot. Puck to the corner to Zeke. Now to the left side, a shot that's blocked in front. Initially, it came off the stick of Zarcone. Another drive in, and Schuck will hold on to this one. Now we have Anderson getting a little upset in front, and I'm not sure if Anderson will go, if Teed will go, or the officials will say just break it up and we're good. And that's what he's saying. Saying, don't worry, we're fine.
Does it seem strange to you, Dylan Teed, the team's leading goal scorer, and we've hardly called his name tonight? He didn't even really get into the action last night until he got an empty netter late in the contest.
Well, he's the leading goal scorer in the series, but right now Brandon Tutt is the leader in points this year.
Well, Teed just got kicked out of the face-off circle, and Messina will come in.
And he'll try to win it from Bratton, but the Ice Bears do control it through some skates. Bratton is not able to get it cleanly. O'Brien to Bratton, and the Ice Bears break a 3-on-3.
They've got Travis Barrett streaking in on the right side, takes the shot, it bounces off the pad of Gunnar Nielsen and drops straight down for him, off the chest pad that is, and drops straight down for him to handle. 3-3 hockey game, 6:56. I'm Dan Lee. I've got the ice to your left, Steve Casson the ice to your right.
You had to think about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, almost. I try not to think any more than I have to. Chris Leonard, our videographer tonight, and of course Dr. Ben Goss between the panes of glass down there ringside, giving us the up-close and personals. On the left-hand side, Alabama wins the draw and tries to take it out of the zone. Can't quite get there. Ice Bears are swarming right now at the blue line.
Penalty coming up. It's a delayed call against Missouri State. Alabama will get Nielsen out. A delayed call, and now we'll send it in, and it is touched up by Schumacher, so the penalty will be assessed to Missouri State. This will be power play number 4. It is a high stick.
Comes with 6:35 left here in the second period.
And going into the penalty box will be Jordan Bratton. Penalties are even up 4 for 8 minutes for each team. And no, that is wrong. There was a double minor I did not add in there.
Right.
So it's 4 for 10 minutes.
Against Alabama.
Correct. And off the draw, Olet will send it down in low, get it to Hanna. Once again along the goal line to Tutt. He shoots, it gets deflected up and behind the net. 6:25 to go here in the second period. Coming up at the second period intermission, have a replay of an interview we did with Matt Matty coming up. Now Ouellette, far side. Left side faceoff dot. Sending it down in low is Rooney. Down behind the net, Brandon Tutt. Looking on the right side. Didn't see the puck behind his skates. Able to pick it up. Power play has 125. Tutt right through, and it's deflected by Brown. And trying to catch it on the fly, and strike one was Jack Rooney. But Alabama with possession. They work this power play well. Here's a drive-in save by Shuck as Ouellette got it from the high slot. He's going to wind up and no, he didn't try it again. Teed, right side. Teed up the middle, and Hanna got a shot. We're going to get a penalty. Lounder is going to get a penalty, and this is where I got to take an argument with this. It's going to be a cross-check. How many times did we see that same situation yesterday where Ice Bears were checked from behind and never a penalty was called, and now it's called today?
I can't argue with you. Way too many of those yesterday that did not get called.
Dr. Ben Goss between the glass.
The official made it a point to tell Loudner as he escorted him to the penalty box, you can't check him from behind like that. So he is aware indeed, at least, of the interpretation of the rule in terms of enforcement. Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, again, yesterday Missouri State had several of those on good scoring opportunities that weren't called. Same refereeing crew. That's an offside as Teed was in too soon. So, again, it's just to say you got to be consistent here.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for is consistency, and that was not consistent with what we've seen this weekend. I will say that. At any rate, what has made a difference in this hockey game today is the two-man opportunities for both teams. And right now, Alabama has a golden opportunity with 40 seconds left on a two-man advantage.
Hanna will send it down in low. They could take the lead, actually. Ouellette, he shoots, save, rebound. And Brown on the backhand is able to clear it.
It'll be played back quickly by Nielsen as he leaves his crease. And Alabama wants to turn it right back this direction.
Once again, coming across the line, Pierre Ouellette. Going to look for it. Ouellette out of Dieppe, Nebraska. He looks down in low, swings it around to Tutt. Franz yelling, let's go Bears, up the middle. Shot blocked in front. Ouellette shot, goaltender down, and a save. I don't know if that was Anderson or Shuck, but it was down.
That was Shuck, and I don't know how he got that.
He made a save. The Ice Bears get one man back. That's Bratton. Now they're going to work on it. 4:29. Now we're on power play number 5. Here's Ouellette, shoots, and it misses wide. Into the corner and cleared by Turin all the way down, and the fans are finally getting into it.
Boy, Shuck had lost his footing. He was totally prone on the ice and somehow got the blocker up on that one save. Unbelievable stop by Brandon Shuck to keep the Ice Bears tied at 3. Alabama trying to work it out. It's held in by Thornton. Thornton will apply some forechecking pressure and try to chew up some more time. 25 seconds left on the Alabama power play. Into the zone it comes, and a call, and we're going to get an icing, I believe, on Alabama, and that'll help chew up some more time.
Let's take a look at that and see just exactly how Shuck made the save. He was sprawling down, and it's hard to tell. I don't know if it was him or maybe if it was Anderson, but Dr. Ben Goss, what did you see from your area?
It looked like Alex Turin had at least a hand in that, and he did so by getting down on the ice on all fours to do everything he could to stop that puck.
3:50 remaining, 17 seconds to go on the power play.
And what a morale boost it would be if they can kill this two-man disadvantage. It's down to a one-man advantage now, and it's cleared out by Johansson. And that should do it for the penalty as Wallett goes back and gets the puck for Alabama.
So Missouri State is 1 for 4 in the power play. The Frozen Tide are 1 for 5. And the Ice Bears are even up along. And here's a break for Rubin.
He's got the steal, he's got the puck, but he's got a man offside as Lounder came in too early. Lounder out of the penalty box and a little bit of a half step ahead of the play. And another good opportunity squelched.
Dr. Ben Goss.
Alex Rubin was just a hair offside there with that particular move, but he did a great job to corral a bounding puck, and it was just a split second from being off at the races for the Ice Bears.
Face off just outside the Alabama zone. Ice Bears win it as Bratton does the chores. A lot of contact right off of the bat, and the Ice Bears will dump it into the zone. Travis Barrett, and he's trying to shake something off. I'm not sure what's going on with Travis, but he just doesn't look comfortable out there in his gloves. As the puck comes on the right-hand side, here's Chris Brown. Dumps it into the corner. Now Barrett. Now Brown. Still working the corner. Here's a shot by O'Brien that comes up high and deflected, and the Alabama Frozen Tide have it.
On the far side, walking it in now is Gottfried. He gets sticked off the play, goes to the near side, chases his own puck. Intercepted by O'Brien. Lead pass is behind Barrett, and he puts a check on his man in front, and the Ice Bears have it to O'Brien.
To Bratton. Bratton has to stick handle out to the point. He's got no help there. It comes outside the zone. Ice Bears will have to retreat momentarily. Schumacher will lift it high and deep into the corner, goes off of the yellow line on the baseboard, and Alabama will send it to length, down trying to find Demers. He can't get it, but it's picked up by Now.
He will have it on the left side. Line change for Alabama. They do complete that change, and they still have it to Rooney. Left side, Rooney gets it in the middle, intercepted by Anderson, and now given up to Matt Matty.
And they'll go left side. Walking in is Solnikov, and he got turned back at the blue line. Great poke check, but he got it back. Here's Nikita. Down low to Matty, and a great opportunity, and another great save by Gunnar Nielsen on the short side.
Huge save there by Nielsen. It could have been an advantage for Missouri State. Line change again for Missouri State, and they cough up the puck. Here's Aulette. He lost it as Schumacher picked his pocket. We come up to center ice.
Ice Bears flying right now on defense, especially causing some turnovers. Here's Schumacher. Tries the lead pass on the right-hand side, and it's going to be an icing call as nobody could find it.
1:28 to go in the period, and again, we'll talk to Matt Matty. An interview that we did last weekend. We'll replay that for you. 1:28 to go in the period, and it is a 3-3 game. Shots 20-15. I don't know how official that is.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
So you are keeping shots?
Yeah, and that's actually very close.
Off the draw.
I could be more wrong than that.
Well, you could be the official and not be wrong. Here's Tutt behind the net. Centers it up the middle and nobody there, but waiting on the doorstep was Messina, but here come the Ice Bears.
Matty has it on the stick. On the left side, backhander is saved off the pads of Nielsen. Turned back into the corner. Ice Bears still have it on the rebound. Selnikov with a shot, and it bounces in crazily, and a good stop by Nielsen. He couldn't control the rebound, but did a good job just to stop that one.
Less than a minute to go.
Here's Kovacic working on the left side, tries to backhand it into the slot. Cooley with a shot, score! Hunter Cooley! Top shelf, left-hand side, Hunter Cooley makes it 4-3 Ice Bears.
This one coming at 19-12, and Cooley with the top shelf goal puts the Ice Bears back in the lead, something that they needed to have as far as that momentum goes for Missouri State. We'll take a look at the opportunity here for Cooley as he gets it down the middle. Nobody there defensively. It goes over the glove of Nielsen, and Missouri State takes the 4-3 advantage. We'll catch the call in a moment from Tim Greasy.
Goal is scored by number 24, Hunter Cooley. He's assisted by number 20, Andrew Kovacic. Number 58, Patrick Johansson.
So it's Johansson who gets an assist too.
Here's Kovacic going back to work. Finds some help with Derek Smith. He gets a shot off save. Rebound is loose out in front, and it's tipped out of there, and the Ice Bears will go back.
17 seconds remaining. Out of their own zone. Here comes Kovacic. Lead passed. And Kovacic got the return pass, that is now, from Barrett.
5 seconds left to go in the period. Ice Bears trying to work it out of the corner. 2 seconds, one, and that's going to do it for the period. A productive period for the Ice Bears. After a slow start and giving up the lead, they come back to tie this thing up and eventually take the lead with just 48 seconds left in it, and it's the Ice Bears leading this one 4-3 after 2 periods of play.
Shots on goal in the period, 13 on Gunnar Nielsen, 2-period total of 24, 6 on Brendan Schuck, 2-period total of 15. And this time we will quickly go to head coach Jeremy Law.
Coach, a quick turnaround here in this game in terms of the second period. What did you see from your team here in this particular period of play?
Well, we cleaned up the penalties, so except for the 5-on-3 there. But yeah, the energy at the end is great. We just got to bring it again in the third period. But to take the lead going into the third is huge.
Good luck in the third period, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, well.
Head coach Jeremy Law joining us just before he goes to the locker room. 4-3, the Ice Bears with the advantage. Let's recap those goals.
7:15. It is a goal by Tutt that gives Alabama a 3-2 lead, his third of the season. They're going to call this one unassisted, and Missouri State finds himself trailing. But then it's Zane O'Brien to come back at 9:38 of the second period, his first of the season. Turin and Anderson will get an assist, and it's 3-3, and Missouri State is starting to rock and roll. And then you kind of see things change, and towards the end, it is Hunter Cooley right down the middle, nobody there. Kovacic and Johansson with the assists, and Missouri State takes a 4-3 advantage. That is Hunter Cooley's first goal this season for Missouri State. It's hard to believe. He has 3 assists, but he gets his first goal on the line with Alex Turin and Andrew Kovacic. 4-3 Missouri State after 2 periods of play. And, to be a fly on the wall, you got to like what head coach Jeremy Law has seen from his squad here in the second period. Yesterday I mentioned that they seemed to have a tough time in the second period, but for some reason last season they were a great second period, and we'll see what happens here as the momentum going into the locker room is in favor of Missouri State. We'll take a break, and when we come back, replay an interview with Matt Matty of the Ice Bears coming up in just a moment. 4-3 Ice Bears after 40 minutes of play. Your best source for awards of any kind is always Bowles Trophy House in Springfield. Trophies, plaques, medals, gifts, ribbons, and more. You get top quality and great service at Bowles Trophy House, serving Springfield and Southwest Missouri for over 40 years. Call them at 417-869-8720.
And if you need embroidery work done, logos, digitizing, and more, come to Banners and Brainstorms in Bowles Trophy House at 601 South Kimbrough.
We're back at MediaCom Ice Park. Steve Cass and Dan Lee. Now joining us, a man that's making his second trip with Missouri State, the St. Charles product, and Matt Matty. With the Ice Bears, 4 goals in 16-17. You had 4 goals and assists with Adrian College, and now with Missouri State, you already have 2 goals. So you're picking up where you left off, kind of, and you really haven't left off.
Nope. Yeah, I know. It's good to be back here. I definitely missed it. Last night's game was really fun. Get a couple goals there. It's a great way to start it off.
What brought you back to Missouri State?
Well, I really second-guessed myself after I left to go to Adrian, but, all my friends are here. The boys are great, and honestly, this is probably the nicest place to play in the ACHA. Fan-wise, the rink's awesome too, but just the amount of people that come to every game, it's totally worth playing every night.
So I take a look at your line, and you're playing with Nikita Salnikov on the right, Hunter Cooley on the left. And I hearken that to the movie Miracle, where they put these guys together, had no idea what they could do. They call it the Conehead line, and all of a sudden you guys are just taking off. And really, we've talked about this, Missouri State can have any given line and call it the number 1 line. It's just everyone's producing, and especially if you go back to last season. But What's it like to all of a sudden just click on a line?
Yeah, I mean, the best part is, our lines, we got a quick line. And then we know with Cooley in there, he gives us some size, but I think we're all just, the same type of player. I know we don't want to be like danglers or anything, but, dish the puck and try to get a goal every time.
And, of course, Hunter with 3 assists already. And he just seems to be all over the place, whether he's dishing the puck or even if he has to come in and dig for it, he still does that. And next thing you know, you guys are ready.
Yeah, he's a great player. I'm glad that I'm playing with him.
What's the difference? I know you had some time with Adrian, and of course the teams that you see are different from the teams down here. What is there, or is there any kind of difference?
I mean, not a huge difference, honestly, especially this year because we have 4, really solid lines. Just like you said, any of those lines could be our top line any given night. The biggest thing, though, for us is we're going to play better competition this year. Compared to Adrian's schedule, they do play some weaker teams, but so I think we got the upper advantage here for this season.
Now, obviously, when you were with us in 16-17, the schedule was just starting to get good. Now you look at it, and does it scare you? When I say scare, I mean, obviously you know that you're going to have to play your best at every single game.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be nervous for some of those games. We play Minot, we got Jamestown, but at the same time, I think that's really going to push our team here. We're going to be playing some dominant hockey in the next couple of weeks.
When you decided to come back, obviously for a different coach.
Yep.
Did you know anything about Jeremy Law?
I did not. Anything that I heard from the guys. So I heard he was a great guy, great coach. He kind of lets the guys do what they want. Unless we're playing a bad game, then he'll give us a reality check. But I came in here, I had no idea what to expect, and it's been nothing but great so far.
Let's talk about you as we have Matty joining us, the junior out of St. Charles, Missouri. Growing up in St. Louis Blues, your team?
Yep, for sure.
And then, of course, the Junior Blues and all the St. Louis stuff that was going on. What made you pick Missouri State?
See, the big thing here is, my mom always wanted me to go to Missouri State. It's only 3 hours from home, so I tried the whole thing living away from home, but after a while, you just want to play in front of your family and friends. So that's the main thing is I just want to finish, my college career here in front of my parents.
Speaking of family, any other brothers, sisters?
I do have an older brother. Yeah, he lives in Kansas City, and he's an engineer. But I see him every now and then. I'm definitely a little bit closer to him now. But
does he play hockey or?
Nope, he does not play any sports, but he's a very smart individual.
Okay, so he's more into the books versus anything else. So there's never really that rivalry.
Yeah, nope. I mean, when we were 8, 9, 10 years old, we definitely rivaled over some of that stuff, but he definitely has the whole books over me, that's for sure.
Matty joining us. When you were growing up, was hockey always your favorite sport?
The big thing was soccer when I was young, but then 8 years old I chose hockey. Ever since then I've stuck with it. So my mom taught me how to skate when I was 3, and ever since then I was like, I just want to play hockey.
And let's describe that, for people that have never really understood. I'm still getting people saying, I can't believe there's a hockey team, and we've been here 18 years. What do you tell someone who finally realizes you're a hockey player that this is the greatest sport on earth?
Yeah, I memean, the big thing is you just got to say come to a game and watch, especially one of these games. If you come here, you're going to have the great night. You just got to see it.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Favorite player? Probably have to say Brett Hall, honestly, back when he played for the Blues, but yeah, probably Brett Hall.
Is there anything on the ice that you kind of have learned as far as, whatever you learned growing up and whatever you were taught growing up, was there something you discovered finally, just this miracle thing out on the ice, or something that you did, or something that was that aha moment when you were playing?
Well, so when I was younger, my big whole game was I wanted to be all over the place. And as I got older, I realized hockey's real structurized. If you want to be a good team, you got to have solid systems. So, over the past couple of years, I've really stepped up my game to be a position type player and not just run around all over the place. So that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Matt Matty joining us of Missouri State. And as I mentioned, you had 4 goals with Adrian. You already have 2.
Yeah.
So there's no pressure anymore, right?
Nope. You got to get the first one, and then it's all, it's good from there.
And the first one, what was the feeling after you got that one?
Last night, the goal, it wasn't a highlight reel goal, but, it's good to get that off. You were a little excited. It was the 5th goal, but, I was still pumped. But
when you kind of think about your hockey playing career, is there one game or something that stands out in your mind the most?
I'm gonna have to say last year was probably the coolest experience, winning nationals with Adrian. But so that's probably my greatest memory of hockey. But actually, as I said earlier, every single night here is so much fun. It's 1,000 fans. It's just wild, and it's so much fun to play here in front of everybody. As
you kind of look back on things that you've done, what was the best advice that somebody may have given you in the hockey world?
Well, I had a coach. It's you got to bring your A game every day, every night. Practice or game. You can't take a shift off, is what I've been told. So, you really got to give it all for the team and for yourself. And if you do it, the team will do it back, and you'll be successful.
Matt Matty is with us. Okay, other than the interviews here at Missouri State, have you done any other interviews?
I have not, actually. So this actually, 2 years ago when I was here, my first one was on the ice after the game. This will be my second, but
only 2. Well, yeah. I'm going to have to talk to the broadcaster and get more in there.
Get me in here a couple times
for sure. Any place across the world that you've been dying to go to?
My big goal is I want to play pro hockey in Sweden. Once my college is over. I don't really know what level, but I want to see what the European lifestyle is.
Well, out there are different levels, obviously. And you have to figure out what that level is, even equivalent to ACHA hockey or NCAA hockey. So I guess once you find that, then it'll be good. There's a couple of players that have played here at Missouri State that went on to play hockey in Europe. And in their experience, obviously they had a good experience, but I think it's a little different because sometimes depending on where you play, there might be a language barrier. But the one thing I think that you're seeing now is you're seeing more coaches that are English speaking, or either whether they're Canadian or American coaches that are over there coaching now.
Yeah, that's very true. One of my junior coaches actually is from Sweden, and he coaches pro over there, and so it's very English there, not a whole bunch of Swedish, but. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens from there.
You may have to dye your hair blonde because...
I got to fit in somehow.
Matt Matty joining us. So, is there a goaltender in the league that you just don't want to face?
To be honest, I don't really know any of the goaltenders are going to play this year. I think that we're going to have the best goaltender regardless. It's probably Bailey's the only guy I don't want to face.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that too. He's one of that won't give up very many, and the one he gave up yesterday, obviously they had to distract all the defensemen to get the guy open, but obviously.
Let's head for the third period. Here's Steve Casson.
Well, don't mean to cut off the interview, but both players are out onto the ice. Quickly want to go down between the glass to Dr. Ben Goss. Ben, are you there?
Steve, can you hear me?
We got you now.
All right, that's great. Hey, I just wanted to report on a couple quick things. For the Frozen Tide, Kalen Briere came back out into the tunnel in street clothes, and he did not appear to be hurt or dazed, so I'm not exactly sure why they made him go in and take his uniform off and put some street clothes on, but that did happen. And also, too, there were some extended post-period conversations between both Jeremy Law and a member of the Alabama coaching staff, the referees. So did not hear anything in terms of what was discussed, but as soon as I got through interviewing Coach Law, he had probably a 2 or 3 minute discussion with the refs, and then there was about a 5-minute discussion with the Alabama bench.
Interesting to know what happens here in this third period as Missouri State were underway, as it in their own zone, skating from the left to the right, and it will be getting hit hard. Chris Brown, but he does send it in, and the goaltender has trouble with it, but good play there by Hunter Cooley to break it up, and it's back out to center ice.
Chris Brown working on Messina, got the pass as far as the red line, but turned back there. Anderson for Missouri State University will pick it up and shovel it backwards into the corner, and they'll scrum along the near half board until finally a shake free goes to the other side. Cooley had it bounce off his pads.
It will not be an icing because it went off of him, and he is there to stop it up, but nobody there for Missouri State. They were line changing. Now Cooley dumps Jeremy Hanna. He'll go to the bench, kind of like running away from that. Ice Bears have possession. It will go to Schumacher. Missouri State shot just tipped wide. O'Brien was in front. Nobody there other than him, and it was saved by Nielsen. Taken by Willett. He'll get it out to center. Broken up by Schumacher of Missouri State. Ice Bears with a 3-on-4. Here's Schumacher. He shoots. It goes wide after hitting somebody's boot, maybe Price. Now to the far side. 18:34 to go. Ice Bears up by 1. It is O'Brien with it, but he lost it. Grabbed from him by Durkin and out to center to Rooney.
And Bratton got just enough of a glove on it to disrupt the play to Rooney. Now it's fired all the way back behind the goal. It'll be played by Shuck. And the Ice Bears will set up after a line change. Here's Travis Barrett. He'll leave it behind to Johansson.
Pass Salnikov. This is going to be an icing. Oh, yes, it is. So that they waited for a second, but they did finally call the icing. 18:06 to go in the period. Icing will bring it back into the Missouri State zone. Well, Dan, you got your 50-50?
I was too late. I got there just as they were closing up shop and drawing the winning number.
And they haven't alerted me yet, so I don't know if that means I won or not.
I could feel it, too. Tonight would have been my night.
And I bought $100 worth of tickets.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Face-off is won by Tunt for Alabama, but they'll have to chase it down as it gets into the corner, and the Ice Bears are there defensively. And now finally the puck comes up to the top of the zone, and it's taken away. Here's Maddie dumping it in.
Across the line where Siebold will clear it, and Missouri State sets it up once again. This one to Rubin. 2-on-2. Rubin shoots up high, missed the glove. Far side boards, Derek Smith, as the Ice Bears were line changing, will come back and set it up. Past Rubin and all the way down. Siebold will race. Maddie in there to put a check, kips it in. It goes off of the stick of Hamblett, up the middle, and off of Salnikov. And we come the other way, right to left.
Nadeau up to the blue line, looks for some help, centers the pass, and it's tipped away nicely by Anderson as it comes away to the Ice Bears.
Missouri State will send it in, and it'll be Matt Maddie to chase it down, the guy whose interview we had to cut off. Puck to the near side. Nadeau lets it go to Tutt. It's up the middle, and Alabama will have a 3-on-3.
Tutt tries to center it through, and it got all the way through, and some players go crashing down, and we're going to get a penalty. And I believe it's going to be on Alabama. It is.
So it's a power play for Missouri State, as this penalty will go against Demers once again.
That comes exactly 17 minutes left in the period. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, it's okay. 5 penalties, 12 minutes for Missouri, for the Frozen Tide, that is. Missouri State now on power play number 5.
Big moment right here for Missouri State if they can get one home and take a 2-goal advantage here in the final stanza.
17 minutes remaining in this period.
They lose the draw, however, and it goes the length of the ice, and we'll start again.
Alabama penalty number 98, Mark Demers, 2 minutes high sticking.
So it's high sticking will be the call. That's his second penalty in a row. Ice Bears bring it in. Ben Bratton's pass is broken up, and the Ice Bears are going to have to race Schumacher into the zone.
And Schumacher barely got there in time. Good effort from him. Barrett picks it up, gives it to Bratton.
He'll get it across the line. Looks to Barrett. He shoots, and a save by Nielsen. Siebold picks it up for Alabama. Bratton drops it off to Johansson as the Ice Bears have possession. They crisscrossed as Johansson, and slowly, methodically, O'Brien drops it down in low to Barrett. Back to O'Brien on the right side, top of the right dot. Now high slot. Schumacher to O'Brien. He shoots, and a blocker save by Nielsen. Far side board. Johansson enough to kick it over to the left side. It'll go to Schumacher. He comes down the middle. Schumacher, he shoots, and a glove save as he came right down the middle. Held on to by Nielsen.
Well, one thing Alabama's defense has done well in the last couple of nights, they got a couple of people camped out low on the crease there that are doing a good job of preventing the tips and the redirects. They're getting in the way of the passes and leaving a good slot for the goaltender to see the shot coming. They've been consistent about that, and the Ice Bears are going to have to find a way around it. Face off between Turin, and it was won by Dylan.
Yeah, and Hamlet. Now we're going to get a whistle for Turin's helmet to come off.
How about Dylan Teed? Yeah, I got it backwards. Dylan Teed, where'd that come from? Dylan Teed wins the draw, but we're going to have a redo here as soon as Turin gets re-equipped. 28-15 now, shots on goal in favor of the Ice Bears, but only a 1-goal advantage. Very similar to last night. Ice Bears outshot Alabama by an almost 2-1 margin. Actually, it was a little bit more than a 2-1 margin.
Yeah, a little bit more, 41-18.
And yet lost that one by a 4-1 count. Outside the zone, Cooley wins the draw. And the Ice Bears come on the attack. Here's Turin.
He's going to look for some help, taking himself right side in front. Cooley with a partially fanned-on shot. It missed wide. Now Turin behind the net. 15:33 to go. Power play has 30 seconds. Ice Bears work it. They're looking to take a 2-goal lead. They had as much as a 2-goal lead, 2-0 early in this game. Now to Brown. Ice Bears on the power play not doing so well. They're 1 for 21 coming into this game. Here's a drive in, save. This time though, Nielsen had a hard time seeing it as Anderson got the shot, and he was able to hold on to it. 15-12 to go in the period.
Alabama comes up with a wholesale line change. Looks like the Ice Bears want to keep the same bunch out there for the last 12 seconds of this power play.
Turin comes in, he wins the draw from Durkin, and a shot by Anderson sails high behind the net. Ice Bears work the puck. Near side boards around the referee. They get it to the right point. Anderson to the left side now. Power play is over. A drive in. It's blocked. Watch out for the guy, but he's coming to the bench, that is, and that guy was Demers. Ice Bears will send it back down in low. 14:49 to go. Siebold back behind the Alabama net. Works it across. Now as he gets it to Jack Rooney, it'll come to Ouellette.
Ouellette will dump it in. And it comes all the way around, a rolling puck that goes all the way to center ice on the other side. Alabama will have to step out of the zone momentarily as they'll take the puck at center ice and try to work it back. Poked off of it is Jeremy Hanna. And Alabama all the way back to their own zone. Now the long lead pass.
But this is an ice.
Yeah, that's going to be an icing call.
Advantage for Missouri State as the face-off will come back down into the Alabama end of the ice.
And finally, those tired troops on the power play will get a break. Really, Missouri State, I was surprised they didn't get a line change with 12 seconds left in the power play because of that situation right there. That left most of the power play team out there for an extended period with Alabama having fresh skates, but it all worked out.
14:09 remaining in the period, and off the draw, it'll be Siebold with it. He'll work it to the far side, and a long pass goes to Rooney off of his stick. And at center ice, it is Salnikov to drop it down. Gets a bouncing puck that is flipped away, and it goes to Siebold. Out to center ice, and Missouri State will regain control. Here comes Derek Smith across the line. Smith lost it, and Rooney will let it go. Banked off the boards, cleared to Smith, who holds it in and lost the puck.
Hanna turns back around with it. He's got Durkin on his right, but Durkin's going to the bench. Hanna tries to step through traffic, and just too many white jerseys for him to contend with as the Ice Bears take it away. Long lead pass for Rubin.
And he will lead a 3-on-3 for Missouri State. The Salnikov. He comes around the net. Salnikov looking for some help. Skates it himself and drops it down in low to Matty. Matty boxes his man out. Good play there. Comes behind the net. Rubin is working to box Teed out. Goes to the point, and it's out to center ice.
Chris Brown will track it down at the red line. Turns back the other way. Delayed offside, but he'll dump it in anyway.
Ice Bears clear the zone. They change up. 13:04 to go and a 4-3 lead for Missouri State. Thornton steals the puck. Lost it for a moment. And the Ice Bears will regain to Thornton. Ping pong there, comes to center and through to Hamblett. Thornton with some pressure, but now it's Messina out of Hinsdale, Illinois.
To the red line, and Schumacher taps it back right there at the officials' half circle, and they'll stack up 5 players trying to get it out of the crease, and it's not going to happen. Puck is frozen. 12:32 left in the third period. 4-3, Missouri State University with the advantage. I'm Dan Lee along with Steve Casson. Our videographer tonight is Chris Leonard, and we've got Doc Ben Goss right between the glass down there. And Doc, this is going to get tense. You can hear it from the crowd. There's no noise.
And I think the body language of the teams reflect that as well. It's going to go down to the wire. If any indication from earlier periods will transpire in terms of what's going to play out here in the third.
Off the draw, it'll be Alabama to shoot it in the Missouri State side. Johansson to chase, and he does clear it. And here comes Barrett with a lead pass to Bratton across the line. Now to Barrett. Sends it over to Bratton. He steals the puck, and as it comes to the corner, Willett will send it up the middle. Stolen by Barrett. Barrett for Missouri State shoots, and he just missed it wide. Now it'll go to Johansson. Back to O'Brien, right dot. O'Brien drops it in low. Barrett off the side of the net. Tried to pass it in front. It's blocked away. Now working it is Seabold. He clear it? No, he doesn't. On his knees is Anderson to hold it in, but that's as far as it's going to go. It's finally pumped out to center ice.
And it'll be Nadeau who tries to turn around on his man and gets the puck shoveled into the zone against Johansson. Goes back behind the goal. Anderson will pick it up there for Missouri State. They try to work it out on the left wing. It goes as far as the red line, picked up there by Alabama and shoveled back in the zone as they go for a quick line. Tutt goes back over to the bench, and Price will pick up the puck for Alabama.
Line change for Missouri State, 11:26 to go, 4-3 Ice Bears. Last goal scored in 1921, Cooley gets it. The assist goes to Kovacic and Johnson. Now, here's Cooley. He'll flip it up over Turin's head. He's going to work with it. Cooley to the far, or to make that Turin to the far side. He snapshots one that is blocked and cleared and sent all the way down.
Schumacher traces the rolling puck back to behind the net. Brendan Schuck looks out, tries to give a little help as to where everybody is. Long setup now as the Ice Bears decide on what they're going to do with it. Now finally they work it up on the left side. Cooley couldn't get there in time. Now he does get the puck and shovels it to the far side. And Derek Smith will dump it in.
Hamblett is there. He'll chase the puck. Cooley with a good hit. Hamblett lost his stick. 10:31 to go in the period. Kovacic shot in and a save by Nielsen. He spun around as he tried to get his stick away from the mass of players in front. Stolen by Kovacic. Comes down the middle. Gives it a Cooley off of his stick, and now it'll come over to Turin. Turin's going to work the puck. Drive it down in low. Cooley on his knees. Over to Hamblett, who intercepts now for Alabama. Far side boards. Ice Bears flip it down. They one-hand it, does Kovacic, working around the official. Kovacic looking for Rubin. Kovacic shoots, and a save by the goaltender Nielsen, and it's out to center. Ice Bears will set it up. They're going to regroup as a diving attempt by DeLeese was not good. Actually, no, it was 97. Gottfried was not successful. The Ice Bears will line change. 9:39 remaining, and it's Willett with it.
He'll start to charge straight up the middle. Nice
slashing call.
Yeah, we're going to get a slashing call from behind, and Salnikov is going to go to the box with 9:33 left to go here in the third period, and a 4-3 Ice Bear advantage.
Something you don't want to see here in the third period. 9:33 to go. Power play number 6 for the Frozen Tide. So Missouri State on the penalty kill, 92.9%, 1 for 14. Well, who was better? Frozen Tide, 0 for 11, 100% coming into today's contest.
Face-off will be to the right of Brendan Schuck. Key opportunity for the Frozen Tide to try to get back into a tie. They win the draw, but nobody there but Ice Bears on the far side as Johansson couldn't get it out of the zone. It comes back to Anderson. Anderson will snap it sharply off the boards, and down it goes.
All the way down to where the goaltender, Nielsen, will hold on to it. Ouellette out of his own zone. Send it over to Rooney. Rooney right side across the line.
He gets met by Schumacher, but manages to get it down to the end boards, and it's picked up there, and they'll try to work it around the side with Tutt in control. Now back to the point. Here's Ouellette. He'll take the shot. This one is deflected, and into the near corner it comes. Now on the half board, held in at the point. Rooney, Ouellette. Ouellette looks, decides not to pull the trigger, goes to the top of the slot, skates left side, takes the shot on the short side, and it whistles wide.
I thought I heard a little bit of pipe, maybe the outside of the pipe.
He might have got a little ting on that. On the other side now, out front, a great centering pass, but not able to keep it on target is Jeremy Hanna, and it comes all the way down.
53 seconds remaining, and both teams with line changes. The only player, Ouellette, he still has the puck. He did not change. Forechecking, token pressure by Turin. And this is wasting some time for Alabama.
Now they'll start forward. Here's Messina on the right wing. He has his pocket picked by Kovacic.
Here comes Kovacic looking shorthanded. The Ice Bears have one. Kovacic shoots and a save. Big save there by Nielsen. As Kovacic got a great shot from the side, and the power play with 21 seconds is still in the Alabama zone.
Here's Nadeau, and he'll dump it into the zone. All the way back around it comes. Turin got there first, got a stick on it. He'll battle two different crimson jerseys for this possession. Still working on it as the power play comes to a close, and sprinting out of the box is Salnikov. Ice Bears still not in position though. As the shot comes in, it's blocked aside. Derek Smith works hard to get it out of the zone. And the Crimson Tide will have to start with Nick Price on the left-hand side. He'll wing it around the boards, and everybody going to the bench for a line change right now. Everybody that can, anyway. Bratton is on. He'll take the puck, give it to Smith.
Smith will send it down. Barrett will have to chase. The goaltender comes out, no icing. Near side, now with 7:05 to go. Missouri State in the lead 4-3. Puck into the Missouri State zone.
Jacob now races for it and gets down into the corner to try to get possession for Alabama, but he's headed off there. Puck comes sliding through. Nobody sees it as the Ice Bears literally skated away from the puck, didn't know it was there. Down low on the slot, and a good block on the play that time from Bratton to keep that one from getting in on Brendan Shuck.
Flipped out as the Ice Bears have it to Barrett across the line, 3-on-3. Barrett with a drive in, and it's deflected wide. Bratton can't get to it. O'Brien now puts a good check on Hamblett. Cameron Hamblett didn't play in yesterday's game, the senior out of Frederick, Maryland. Back behind the net, and a couple of players collide. That's Price and O'Brien. It's still in the Alabama zone. Schumacher now down to Bratton. Back to Schumacher. Ice Bears making like it's a power play, but it's not. Goes to the far side, and it's held in. Bratton will pick it up. Gives it to Barrett. He's looking up the middle. Tipped away from him by Gottfried, and it's out to center ice. Flipped right back in by the Ice Bears. They finished their line change. They're yelling for the goaltender to come out. It's a delayed penalty, and it is going to go against the Frozen Tide. So Missouri State will go on the power play with 5:52 to go, and this one will be against Nick Price.
Didn't see what happened. Dr. Van Goss, did you see that one?
Unfortunately, that one slipped by me as I was checking my roster, but be that as it may, we've got a Frozen Tide member now in the penalty box, and the Bears are going to have the upper hand here with 5:52 left in this game, clinging to a 4-3 lead in a real tense second of two here against Alabama.
You know how you can tell it's a real tense game in this day and age, Steve?
How?
No cell phones out right now.
Oh, yeah.
No iPads, no
Nothing.
iPhones.
Nobody taking pictures. They are sipping their beer, though, because we do sell beer.
Up until the third period.
Yeah, but they still had it prior to the third period ending. Now here's Anderson on the power play to Turin. He's going to wait. The Ice Bears get it set up. Anderson looking, high slot. Now to Turin, right side. Turin can't get it to anyone. Turin again, still gets it over to Anderson, high slot. Back to Turin, right side. Turin in low to Kovacic. Back to Turin, he shoots, and it gets deflected up over. Ice Bears with the chant, "Let's go Bears." 1:33 to go on the power play. It's intercepted and taken away by Siebold. He gets it out to center ice.
And they'll try to get it as far as the red line. Now they dump it all the way in. Anderson gets ridden down on the play all the way into the corner. And the Ice Bears will take it back there. 1:13 left in the power play. Here's Turin straight up the middle.
Now with 5 minutes remaining in the period. Ice Bears across the line to Turin. He tried to toe drag. Couldn't do it. It's taken away and cleared. Don't forget, Missouri State Ice Bears Coaches Show from Civil Kitchen and Tap tonight. We'll have it for you live on our sister station, Jock 98.7 FM, 10:30 tonight Central Time. We hope you'll tune in. Also on Web Sports Radio. Here's Barrett, right side. Now the left side. Barrett had it poked away from him. It'll be deflected and rides all the way down into the Missouri State zone.
Brendan Shuck will come way out of the crease to try to get this one back the other direction quickly.
Placed over to Johansson, who tried to return it to O'Brien and off of his stick. Now Johansson positions to the corner, but it is cleared and off of Schumacher. Schumacher decided instead of letting it go all the way down, he'd glove it down. He did, and the Ice Bears still have possession in the neutral zone. They work it across the line to Bratton, taken away though and cleared by Willett all the way down with 12 seconds to go on the power play.
Still time to crank up one last charge on this power play if they can get it going. Nope, they're going to decide to go ahead and change some lines. Now finally they come forward and we're back at full strength.
It is over now as the Ice Bears work it. Rooney, or Godfrey that is, will intercept and the Ice Bears changed.
And Godfrey comes in 1-on-3. It's poked away from behind. Nice defensive play by Bratton.
O'Brien was going to the bench, looked up and saw the pass and wasn't sure if he should accept it or not, and he didn't, and it's taken away by the Frozen Tide. Alabama in their own zone. Their record right now, 1-1. Missouri State is 2-1.
And the shot on goal. Actually, Alabama's 2-0, I thought.
Yeah, they're 2-0. What did I say?
No, 1-1.
Oh, yeah, they're 2-0. Missouri State is 2-1.
Okay, here's Darius Smith behind his own goal as the Ice Bears try to break out one more time. Salnikov has speed if he can keep it on the tape.
Across to Rubin, and he gets a shot down. Here's Matty, follow up, and it's blocked. Matty again, 2:59 to go. Centers it in front, and it goes off of the stick of Salnikov on the far side. Intercepted by Tutt, taken away by Salnikov. Dropped down into Rubin. Bumped off the play. Spun around on the far side. Given to Solnikov. He shoots. He scores! Nikita Solnikov makes it a 2-goal lead for Missouri State. And Solnikov gets his second goal for Missouri State.
Did he ever work hard for that shift? That man was all over the ice. The Ice Bears go up 5-3 from Russia with love. Nikita Solnikov with a big, big goal here in the third period.
And this one was definitely one of those top shelf type goals. We'll see the whole scenario here where Solnikov really worked hard.
Number 90, Nikita Solnikov. For the Ice Bears, the unassisted goal from Salnikov coming at 17:18 in the third period. And a reminder,
that's the goal call there.
And I know a couple of real proud parents in Pence, Russia right now. 5-3 Ice Bears off of the fantastic effort from Nikita Salnikov, and here comes Kovacic.
He comes to the left side, backhander in, and a save by Nielsen. 2:05 to go in the period. Behind the net. And everybody gets a $1 Andes now with the Ice Bears scoring 5 goals.
A dollar treat.
It's a $1 Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, $1 Sunday. Oh, boy.
Messina.
I thought you meant you were going to give him $1 on Sunday.
No.
Ice Bears have the puck. 1:40 left to go in regulation, trying to avenge last night's loss. A 2-goal advantage. Here's Wallette. Tries to center it through. It's knocked down at the blue line and goes offside. This will be a delayed offside. Shane Thornton will pick it up for the Ice Bears and turn back the other way. And there's a steal. But thankfully, nobody there to recover as Now got in there and poked it away. But the Alabama Frozen Tide still on the attack.
We're going to get a penalty. It goes against Missouri State. Oh, no, I take that back. They're pulling the goaltender. 1:09 to go.
That's all. They're just pulling the goaltender.
Yeah, I looked at the official. He had his hand up, but I think he was protecting the puck. And now with a pulled goaltender with 1 minute remaining.
And Durkin will try to start the attack on the left-hand side. Gets it all the way back behind the goal. Turin gets double teamed there. Not getting any help. Now finally he does get Johansson in there to help out a little bit as they chip it along into the corner. It is flipped up and into the netting. Let's see who put it there. Important face-off coming up with 45.9 left in regulation.
The player of the game tonight will be Hunter Cooley. And just a reminder, Dr. Ben Goss will make it quick since we have the Ice Bears coaches show, but anything you see down there?
Well, one thing I did see on that 5th goal was that the Alabama bench was calling for interference against the Ice Bears. Much to their dismay, they did not get any sort of reaction from the officials.
All right, well, 45.9 seconds remaining. Yet a timeout has been called by Alabama. But the player of the game tonight is Hunter Cooley from Imperial, Missouri. Cooley with just a beautiful goal to give the Ice Bears the lead. This one came at 19:21 of the second, and Missouri State at that point had a 4-3 lead. They now have a 5-3 lead on Nikita Salnikov's goal, and was Salnikov's just kind of a thing of beauty as the puck went down low along the boards, and as you mentioned, Salnikov just did yeoman's work to dig it out and up over the shoulder of Nielsen. And that's where we are right now. Don't forget, the next game that we'll have for you right here on Web Sports Radio will be Jamestown University. That's Friday, September 21st. And again, get here early. The Prez of the United States will be here at JQH 6:30 next Friday. Get here early.
Face off to the right of Brendan Shuck. It's fought for. The goal is empty on the Alabama end, as Wallette will have to go back to neutral zone to get the puck. He'll try to lead it in on the left-hand side. It's chipped up in the air and again out of play as it touches the netting. I believe it went off of a Missouri State stick, so we'll face it off again to the right of Brendan Shuck. 32 seconds left in regulation. A 5-3 Ice Bears lead over the Frozen Tide of Alabama.
34-19 are the shots, much like yesterday, Dan. But this time it's a different situation with Missouri State having a 2-goal advantage.
Tutt wins the draw for Alabama, but it's outside the zone. Tipped away by Kovacic. Now the Tide will just dump it in. Derek Smith wings it around the boards, and the Ice Bears manage to get it out of the zone. 18 seconds left. Here's William Zeke. Tries to split the defense. Not going to happen. Tipped out nicely by Chris Brown. Not far enough to be an icing call. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, as Wallette
will get up a final drive through the Ice Bear head and takes the shot. Whistles up high over the crossbar. Rebound is right there in back of Shuck. Never saw it, but it does not find the mark, and this game comes to a close with the Ice Bears getting a 5-3 victory and revenge over the Alabama Frozen Tide.
10 shots in the third period for a 3-period total of 30 on Gunnar Nielsen, 34 that is on Gunnar Nielsen. Dan, is this right? Just 4 shots on Brendan Shuck for a 3-period total of 19. That is some good defensive work by Missouri State, as they don't allow very many shots, but they get a goal in the third period. Hunter Cooley got one late in the second, and Salnikov, the only goal in the third. 5-3, your final score.
Actually, I had 10 shots on goal on. Yeah, that's right. 10 shots on goal on the Alabama goaltender Gunnar Nelson.
Correct, and just 4 shots for a 3-period total of 19.
Yeah, you're right. Just 4 shots on goal.
Well, in a moment, we will hear from the Ice Bears player of the game with Dr. Ben Goss, and then we will head on over to the Civil Kitchen and Tap, where we will have the Ice Bears coaches show. That'll be at 10:30 tonight. We hope you'll tune in for that as the Ice Bears salute the crowd here at Mediacom Ice Park after a much fought over 5-3 victory over Alabama. And now we have Hunter Cooley down with Ben Goss.
Hunter Cooley, player of the game tonight. How good does this win feel after last night?
It's a great feeling. We really needed this W to get us going.
Giving away some size to Alabama across the board in the middle, but you exerted yourself tonight in the crease. What did you do to turn the tide, so to speak?
We just got in there, got dirty, and battled our hardest and got the job done.
Congratulations by the Ice Bears. Way to go.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Hunter Cooley, the player of the game here at Mediacom Ice Park on the Stan Melton Ice Rink, as the Ice Bears capitalize on 2 of 6 power plays.
Kind of a short interview there, but we've got to get packed up and get over to the Civil Kitchen.
Yeah, we do. We have less than an hour to get over there on our sister station, Jock 98.7 FM. But again, the Ice Bears capitalize on 2 of 6 power plays. Alabama 1 of 6. And so early on in the season, both statistics not the best for each team, but at the same time, it works for Missouri State. Andrew Kovacic in the first period at 5:40 gets his third on the power play. Then it is Jordan Bratton getting his first at 6:11. 12:08 power play by Durkin of Alabama makes it 2-1. And then the next 3 goals. Zeke his first at 19:41 of the first, and then in the second at 7:15 Tutt with his third makes it a 3-2 Alabama lead. But then the Ice Bears come back. O'Brien at 9:38 his first of the second. Then at 19:21 Cooley his first, 4-3. And then the Ice Bears with some insurance by Nikita Salnikov, 17:18 of the third, his second, 5-3 the final score. And again, don't forget our next broadcast for you. That'll be next weekend, next Friday. It'll be Jamestown University coming in against Missouri State on the 21st on Friday. And as I've said already,
if we can get here
early. The President of the United States will be at JQH Arena. That's just about 4 streets away from us. And I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to block it off, or what is going to happen. But get here early. Make sure you find a parking spot. And, you may have to park 5-6 blocks away to walk in here. So make sure you get here early, because we all know anytime the Prez comes, no matter who it is a madhouse.
Yeah.
It is. So make sure you get here early. Consider yourself warned.
Yeah, I got to say this, with President Trump scheduling his rally so close to this arena and at almost exactly the same time, it is pretty clear to me that President Trump is complicit in a plot against college hockey. It just seems very clear to me right now.
I think that's fake news, but that's okay. All right, that'll do it here from Mediacom Ice Park, as the Ice Bears even up the series for the weekend with a 5-3 victory. And I'm sure head coach Jeremy Law will be happy on the Coaches Show when he can report back that it was at least a split. I know he'd like more than that, though. I'm Steve Casson for Dan Lee and Dr. Ben Goss, along with Christopher Leonard for doing camera work. Thanks for tuning in. Until the Ice Bears Coaches Show, the Ice Bears win 5-3. We will see you later on. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to Missouri State Ice Bears Hockey with your hosts, Steve Casson and Dan Lee. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Ice Bears Hockey is a presentation of DS Sports Enterprises and WebSportsRadio.com.